play their second game of the year here at home as they will play host to Grand Forks Central. The Knights who come in here 1-0 on the year after a 34-6 drubbing of Williston on the road last week. Minot High coming off a win 24-6 against Jamestown last week. Brock Harstead joins me as he always does. And Brock, we got to see Minot High last week. They did a lot of good things, I thought, offensively, showed some new wrinkles. Even Coach Holman admitted they may have got a little conservative in the second half, but boy, they've got the makings and the lookings of a pretty good football team.
Yeah, they played real well in the first half. The offensive line set the tone right away, and they got the running game going with Dante Smart. And then, once they got their lead, like you said, they kind of went into a shell a little bit, but they didn't make any big mistakes, and they didn't let Jamestown get back in the game. So we'll see see if they can kind of continue that theme tonight.
Grand Forks Central comes off that win on the road. They made the long trip over to Williston, win 34-6, and a lot of people in AAA football did not think Grand Forks Central was going to be a force this year, but I think they may have opened some eyes last week.
Well, you can tell the first ranking of the season come out, and they come out right behind Minot at number 4, and like you said, preseason predictions are preseason predictions until you see them on the field, and obviously they did some good things last week in Williston.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot to mention that at the outset. We have 2 ranked teams going at it in this early season matchup. Rankings don't mean a lot at this point in the season, but Minot High ranked 3rd in the first AP poll, while Grand Forks Central was ranked 4th. But we're going to take a break here on the Night Train Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from the head man of the Magicians. That's Barry Holman. We'll do that in 1 minute. Joins me, Barry. Grand Forks Central tonight, a team that did a number on Williston last week, 34-6 on the road. Looking at their stats, they have a couple of kids that can run the football pretty good.
Yeah, they were very impressive on film. They ran right at Williston. They have a nice tandem of a fullback and a tailback who were very successful. Their line was pretty much toe-to-toe and right at you, and they dominated the line of scrimmage last week. And so our first concern is to be tough up front and at least minimize what they do best. And then if we can manage something similar on the offensive side where we can control up front, then we think we can be okay.
Offensively, you did move the ball. You did some really nice things, especially in the first half last week. Maybe we got a little conservative the second half, but it looks as if you're trying to use as many weapons as you have, with the new wrinkle with your wide receivers.
Yeah, we think we have some kids that can produce some positive gains, and we have overall a very good team speed, and we're trying to use it. And of course, you can't do that unless everybody buys into the scheme. And so we're trying to be a little deceptive and trying to be diverse, stretch the field sideways, and we hope that we'll continue to improve there, and we also hope that we can become a little better at the passing game.
And you talk about your quarterbacks, you threw both of them into the fire, and I thought for the most part they both did a very good job. Are you going to use them both again tonight?
Yeah, the plan is the same. We're going to start with Izzy, see how it goes. We intended to put Max in about second quarter time or so, and then late in the game, Izzy actually cramped up and wasn't quite able to play anyway. So again, just there's a first game example of why you want to create depth, and we're fortunate to have 2 guys right now.
We talked a little bit about your offense. We talked about your wide receivers, but boy, what a nice tandem you have in Jonas and Dante.
Yeah, when you have 2 tailbacks, it can be good. One's a bigger and physical. One's more of a scat back, but Dante runs tough in between the tackles, and we feel like we can put them either one in and be productive, and sometimes both of them, and that's got to produce some concerns for a defense as well.
Are you going to see anything differently from Grand Forks Central defensively?
They're actually going to run what we run defensively, the same scheme. So all week long, we've been able to somewhat practice against our own defense. So it's exactly the opposite up front. Instead of an even man front, now we're going to have an odd man front. Our center's going to be covered with the nose guard, and so there'll be some challenges different from last week.
One last question. You look at their starting lineups, it looks like they play 7 kids on both sides. Do you hope that you can wear them down a little bit, especially with how hot it is?
Yeah, and I think the wind's going to be a factor tonight too. We are bigger up front than they are, and I hope and I think that we have better depth, and so part of our plan is to play a lot of kids and do exactly that.
All right, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Scotty.
All right. Hey, can you stop?
That is Barry Holman, the head coach of the Magicians, talking about this matchup tonight against the Knights of Grand Forks Central. We're going to take another 1-minute timeout here in our pregame show. We'll hear from the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights. That's Bill Lorenz. We'll do that in a minute.
It was a nice win, especially, traveling across the state, 300 and some odd miles, for our kids to play the way they did, and just kind of the unknowns for us as a coaching staff, with so many new starters, new players that were inexperienced at the varsity level. We were happy with the way the kids performed.
We're going to see the ball probably on the ground a lot. You're going to want to run the ball, and Barry's going to want to run the ball with his 2 scat backs.
We were talking about that as a coaching staff. The game might be done in an hour, so with both teams running the ball and stuff. But no, that's what, we make no bones about it. Minot the same way. We want to establish a ground game, and that's what opens up our passing game for us.
Bill, you look at Minot High offensively. They got the 2 young kids, quarterback and alternating there, and now you got the smart kid. You know about him. The Tingas dog kid brings something. You got 2 different types of backs, and that really kind of presents problems defensively.
Yeah, it does. Both of them bring just something a little bit different to the table, and they're very, very talented kids too. So, what we worked on all week is just rallying to the ball. We got to gang tackle those kids because both of them are very, very hard runners, and very seldomly do they get brought down by just one player.
You're kind of road warriors on the road again this week. Finally get home next week, but this has got to be great for this group of kids because this program has struggled a little bit the last 2-3 years, and to get a win and get some confidence, and that's all it takes. And you got 3 more non-conference games before you have to play for real.
Yeah, it is. And going on the road, it's got its ups and downs, but it gives the time for the kids to bond, especially when they're on the bus that long, and sometimes they're going to hate each other after they get off, but most times it's a pretty good deal for them.
Nice to see you here in Minot. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, Bill Lorenz, a former a Sawyer native, graduate of Sawyer High School, and also played some college football over at Minot State. Billy, I think in his 3rd or 4th year as the head coach, and they have been a struggling program since they played in the state title game a few years back, Brock. But you get a win like that on the road, and you talk about going on the road, and you talk to a lot of coaches that say they would rather go on the road early in the year simply because their kids get a sense of being together and that togetherness. But that is a huge win for that program last week, and now we'll see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, going on the road early is, you're probably right, it probably is a little better. You don't have all the distractions that come with, going to school all day on a Friday and mom, dad, and the girlfriends, all that kind of business that happens with playing at home. You jump on the bus midway through the day, you take a little trip, and you get a chance that bus ride to focus on football, and obviously they did a good job of that last week.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a team, we talk about 2 teams that want to run the football, and I agree with Billy. We could be out of here in an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half if they keep the ball on the ground. Grand Forks Central rushed 50 times last week for 338 yards, and Minot rushed the ball, 40 times for 336. So there is no question. These 2 coaches know what each other wants to do.
Yeah, they're not going to fool each other, but when you have 2 teams that want to establish the run like that, sometimes it's a big play in the passing game or the kicking game that can turn the football game, and we'll see if either team can establish their running game, maybe give us a play-action pass and hit a big play early in the game.
All right, you've heard from both coaches. There's the starting lineups are being introduced here. We're going to continue here on the Night Train Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll talk about other games around AAA football tonight. We'll do that when we come back to Dwayne Carlson Stadium in 1 minute. I think we'll just let him do the coaching. By the way, let's run through what happened in AAA football a week ago. Bismarck High defeated Fargo North 39-13. Dickinson shut out Dawson County, Montana. They're out of Glendive 39-0. Fargo South over Bismarck Century 28-14. Grand Forks Central 34-6 over Williston. Grand Forks Red River beat Fargo Shanley 28-19. Mandan, probably the biggest surprise of the week, knocking off West Fargo 36-28. The Braves have to be a team to contend with because West Fargo was picked by many over in the East to win the East region. This week, the new poll, or the first poll came out. Bismarck High was 1, Fargo South 2, Minot High 3, Bismarck Century, or Grand Forks Central 4, Century and Mandan were tied for 5th. Also receiving votes were West Fargo and Grand Forks Red River. So you got 3 West teams, Bismarck, Dickinson, Minot, and Mandan, 4 West teams at 1-0, Century and Williston at 0-1, East Region, Fargo South, Red River and Central at 1-0, North, Jamestown, and West Fargo at 0-1. By the way, last score we had on the Twins, 3-1, Indians led in the 6th. What is it, 3-2? 3-2. Now, Indians lead the Twins. We'll keep you updated there. One Class A score that we can pass on to you from earlier today, a game you heard on our sister station, 1390 KRRZ. James Johnson and Des Lacs Burlington Lakers pick up their first win of the year, even their mark at 1-1, as they knocked off the Troopers of Garrison Max in Des Lacs today, 20-0. So that brings you up to date a little bit on what's going on around the area and around AAA football. The Glass Doctors, South Broadway of Minot, we fix your pains, a proud sponsor of Magician Football, along with, Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, which is your player of the game sponsor, which Brock and I will name our Perkins player of the game during our post-game show tonight. Kickoff is just around the corner. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout here on the Night Train Pizza pregame show. More from Dwayne Carlson Stadium in a couple. Program at Minot High. We'll be ready for football. God, just a gorgeous day for football tonight. Game time temperature 78 with clear skies. Wind south-southeast at 18 to gusting to 24. That will probably favor the team that is going from left to right here, from the south or from south to north. A little bit more wind than we had last week in the Jamestown game. Yeah, it shouldn't affect maybe a little bit in the kicking game, but other than that, I don't see it being a problem. It'll probably die down here a little bit as the evening wears on. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a gorgeous day today, and boy, I'll tell you what, we just, I was telling Joe, the guy that takes care of the field here, what a great spectacle this is. The field is in just excellent shape, and we had great weather. We got another great crowd on hand here tonight, and this is what high school football is all about, Brock. Yeah, they've done a real good job taking care of the field, made the improvements with the new bleachers up here, and they really do have the facility looking good. All right, we're set to go here as we get set. I did not see the end of the coin toss, so we don't know who will get the football first. By the way, the officials for tonight's ball game are Kevin Harmon, Mike Anderson, Chad Vogel, Eric Manlove, and Mike Bell. They will be your officials for tonight. Remember, we have college football here on KCJB tomorrow afternoon, the 2009 debut of Paul Rudolph's Minot State University Beavers. They go against the Golden Bears of Concordia St. Paul out of St. Paul, Minnesota. 12:30 pregame, and our kickoff will go at 1 o'clock. Remember, the inaugural Coach's Corner show tomorrow morning from Buffalo Wings and Rings, 10:30 to 11:30. We have several coaches lined up, including Minot High head coach Barry Holman, Des Lacs Burlington head coach James Johnson. We'll hear from Paul Rudolph. And we also will have Darwin Rutledge in his second year as the head coach up at Dakota College of Bottineau, formerly MSU Bottineau, football coach. He started that program a year ago and is in his second year. We'll talk a little bit about what his program, where his program is at. Here is the opening kickoff. Minot kicking to Grand Forks Central. It'll be, it gets by the return man and into the end zone for a touchback. That was Ger Schmidt, who was trying to take that, and got through his legs and out of bounds. Let's check Grand Forks Central offensively. Across the front at the tackles, Alex McDonald and Michael Kraus. The guards, Josh Berry and Gabe Gorno. The center will be Ben Lofgren. Quarterback is Brady Johnson, 5'11", 165, and a senior. The wide receivers, Drew Jager and Gers Schmidt. The running backs, the fullback is Jeremy Zaraka, 6 foot, 200-pound senior, and the tailback ran for over 200 yards last week. Grant Parks, 5'11", 195, and a junior. And he gets the football to start the football game. No, that was not him. That was Zaraka, and Zaraka will pick up very little. Oh, it was number 3. That is Judd Prasnicki. He was not even listed as a starter tonight, and he's getting. He got the first carry. Prasnicki, a 5'8", 165-pound senior.
They went with a little. They split Parks out wide that time and went with a little 3 wide receiver look just to give the Magicians a little different look.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Now he is shotgun. It's Johnson. And this time he drops the football, now rolls right. He wants to throw. Now he'll run the football, being chased over there. Good play there by the Magicians, number 34 for the Magi. That is Dylan Bercier, one of the linebackers. Up front for Minot, Tyler Hilzendegger and Alex Nelson at the ends. Wyatt Zietz at the nose guard. Your linebackers are Max Murphy, Jace Olander, Dylan Bercier, Wyatt Grindy, and Mason Murphy. Your corners, Aaron Coleman and Isaiah Steinwan. And your free safety, Darren Back.
That's one thing Minot High is going to have to try to control is Grand Forks Central's short passing game. Last week, Johnson was 11 for 14, but he only threw for 79 yards.
All right, out of the shotgun, 3rd and about 6. There's a pitch going right. That's running back, going close to the first down. He does pick it up. That was Prasnicki with it. And it looks like he's going to be short of the first down by about the length of a football, Brock.
Yeah, nice little option play there. Faked the dive to the back of the backfield, got the wing in motion, and got him out on the pitch. But it looked initially like he was going to pick that up, but Minot High rallied and got him out just short of the first down.
So back deep for Minot High will go Back and Coleman. Aaron Coleman and Darren back to receive the punt from Ger Schmidt. Schmidt standing inside his 20. There's the snap. Here's the kick. It's a short kick. It's going to bounce at the Minot High 45. Picked up by Back. He's to the 45. To midfield. And then he's gang tackled there. I think Minot will start about 1st and 10 from their own 49. Up front for Minot High. The left tackle, Brock Keller. Left guard, Aaron Bentrup. The center, Wyatt Zietz. Right guard, Tyler Genry. And the right tackle, Ryan Tetzloff. Your wide receivers, they'll use 4 of them. Josh Mellum and Jared Hoffman, 2 seniors, will start. Back, and Ben Ware will bring plays in. Your fullback will be Jace Olander, and your tailback to start will be Dante Smart, but you will also see Jonas Tangasdal, and that quarterback is Isaiah Steinwan, 6'1", 180, and a junior.
Yeah, right away they put Smart out wide and use Tangasdal in the backfield.
There's a fake to Smart. Now they give it. No, that is Smart with the football across the 45 to about the 40. So they mixed it up right from the start and put Smart out in the slot and had Tangasdal at that tailback. Yeah, boy, I tell you, that's really a luxury for Barry Holman.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that in the second half. They run Smart straight down the line of scrimmage. In the first half last week, they were doing it with wide receivers. Then they put Smart out there in the second half, and they had a lot of success, both giving him the ball and faking it to him and giving it to Tangasdal up the middle.
All right, wide right comes... I actually don't really know who that is out wide right.
Can't see the number.
It's number 18. That's Back. Okay, up straight ahead. Well, that was Ben Ware that was out. Yeah, Ben Ware. Little gain there for, was that Smart on that carry? No, that was Tangasdal again. So they got both Smart and Tangasdal in the lineup. We'll check Grand Forks defensively when we get a chance here. Now Tangasdal will come out of the football game, and coming in Mellum and Hoffman. So now Smart more than likely will move back to that tailback spot. Jace Olander is the fullback. Both receivers will come right with Hoffman in the slot. 2nd and about 8 from the Grand Forks Central 37. Handoff. This is Olander. 30, 25, 20, 15. Cuts back. 10. He's still on his feet. Finally driven out of bounds on the far sidelines at about the 7. Again, fullbacks in the Minot High offense do not carry the ball very often, but right there, Olander goes from the 37 to the 7-yard line, a 30-yard pickup.
Yeah, nice little trap up the middle. You get the defense focusing on Smart back there at the tailback spot, and they just hit a quick little hit and trap up the middle, and he rumbles down to the 7-yard line.
Back and Ware will come wide right with with back in the slot, straight I formation in the backfield. Here's Steinwan calling signals, 1st and goal from the 7. Hand off to Dante Smart, touchdown! He goes in untouched, and Minot High makes it look easy here on their first drive. 9:31 to play first quarter. Magicians up 6-0 pending the extra point. And I think we have change from last like Isaiah Steinwan will hold, Jared Hoffman will kick. They're just flip-flopping spots. Hoffman with the extra point. It's down, the kick is up, the kick is good. No good. It must have been wide left. So Minot High still is 0 when it comes to PATs. But with 9:31 left in the first quarter, Magicians on the board. Minot High 6, Grand Forks Central nothing. Back in 1 minute.
Yep.
Well, on the ensuing kickoff, Grant Parks takes it at about the 10-yard line and brings it all the way back to the Minot High 30. Let's see where they're going to mark it. 39-yard line. Finally tackled there by the kicker Steinwan. So Grand Forks Central responds with a great run back right there.
Yeah, good job. Just straight up the middle. You got behind the wedge. They made a couple good blocks. He popped it off to the left there and was off to the races. Good job by safety valve there, Steinwan, staying back and saving the touchdown.
All right, so Johnson brings him out. He'll go under center, takes a receiver both ways. One each way, offset I. Here's the handoff. It'll go to Parks straight ahead. He's still on his feet inside the 35 to about the 33. Tripped up there by Darren Back, and also number 22 for the Magicians. That is Tyler Loeffler, who will see a lot of action at one of those linebacker spots tonight.
Go back to Minot High's scoring drive. Eerily similar start to last week. Defense stopped Jamestown last week. This week they stopped Grand Forks right away, and the big boys up front just take over on that first drive and put together a nice little 4-play drive for an easy touchdown.
Here's the handoff again, right side. This is Parks again, very close. Yeah, he's going to fall forward and get the first down, it looks like, at about the Minot High 27-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 5 more on the play. Mason Murphy in on the tackle for the Magi. So they move the chains. So Grand Forks Central trying to get the equalizer here. 8:38 to play, first quarter. Ball has not been in the air yet tonight.
Yeah, this Parks kid's a pretty big kid, 5'11", 195. That's a pretty big boy for a high school running back.
Jager goes wide left, wide right is Schmidt. Fullback is Zaraka. Parks the tail, under center Johnson, turns, play action, he wants to go, he's going deep down the line to Schmidt, he scores! Wait a minute.
Flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play. I thought he caught the ball and fell into the end zone. Yeah, touchdown. The ball was actually, Brock was underthrown, but Schmidt made a nice job of coming back to the football.
Yeah, just one-on-one coverage out there, and they were in that part of the field where they decided to take a shot, and you're right, it was underthrown a little bit, but the receiver always has an advantage in that situation, and I think flag is going to end up being off our defensive pass interference anyways, but yeah, like you said, Schmidt made a nice catch.
All right, it is a touchdown. It'll go 27 yards from Brady Johnson to Gur Schmidt. And now the extra point try by Schmidt. Actually, number 9 will kick. That's Alex Nagel, Alex Nagel with the PAT here. It's down, the kick is up. Kick looks good, it is good. 8:17 to play. It took them less than a minute to come back and score after the big kickoff return. 8:17 to play first quarter. Grand Forks Central 7, Minot High 6, back in 30. Broadcast of this Minot High game brought to you in part by Magic City Garage Door. For all the sales, service, and installation you need for residential and commercial garage doors, call them today at 852-1973. And also, for all your protection under one roof, call American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep of Minot, 852-1078. Let's see. Back deep for the Magi. That will be Mellum and Coleman. This is Nagel with the kick, and they're kicking into the wind. Pretty good kick. Taking it will be Coleman at the threes to the 10, 15. 20, 25, 30, 35, and almost breaks it. Boy, a saving tackle. Was that Schmidt? Yeah, Ger Schmidt with the saving tackle there. But Minot will start with pretty good field position again, Brock.
Yeah, they nice kickoff returns right back up the gut again. Good job by the front guys picking up the Grand Forks guys as they were coming down.
So Central gets the lead with the extra point. Minot High with the football for the second time tonight. They will come out. Hoffman looks as if he'll come out wide right. He is the only. Well, actually, now Mellum gets out there. Now we got a flag, and I don't know what this is. Boy, we had trouble with it last week where we had offsides on Minot. Is this an illegal substitution?
No,
it can't be.
It shouldn't be an illegal substitution. They were short a guy, but he come back on and.
Oh, the defense lined up in the neutral zone. Last week, Minot, I think, was called for offsides before the ball was ever snapped about 4 or 5 times. So Minot will get the benefit of the first penalty here, or actually the first penalty taken. There was a pass interference that was declined by Grand Forks Central on that touchdown. Steinwan down the line, right side, Hoffman. Hoffman one-on-one with the back, breaks his tackle, breaks another. He's up to the Grand Forks Central 43-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 6, 11, maybe about 13 on the play. Nice job by Hoffman with the run after the catch, and that's that bubble or that wide receiver screen.
Yeah, a little bubble screen. They had Mellum out there. He throws a real good block on the linebacker, and corner's playing off about 6 or 7 yards, and Hoffman's able to make a move on him and beat him for another 5 or 6.
So it's 1st and 10 at the Grand Forks Central 43-yard line. Steinwan with a straight eye formation in the backfield. Jumping going on, no flag, hand off to Smart. Smart, not much. Nice job up front there for the Central Knights. Off the bottom of the pile, number 32. 44 and 32, that's Parks. And Parks and David Nelson. It's Jeremy Zaraka, Josh Berry, and Jason Blue up front. The linebackers are James Wright, Taylor LaHaze, David Nelson, Grant Parks, and Tyler Hogg. Corners are Gers Schmidt and Brady Johnson. Safety, Drew Jager. Here's Minot, second, and we're going to call it 11. In motion comes Hoffman. Hoffman will get the football. Hoffman comes around. He's to the 41 and pulled down from behind by number 64, 44. That's Parks. No, it's 64. Sorry about that. 64. That is Josh Berry. That'll be a pickup of about 4 yards on the play, make it 3rd and 7.
Good job there by Berry. He makes that tackle on the down by the sidelines. He come all the way from his nose tackle position, just flowing down the line like he's supposed to do, and gets in on the tackle.
6:40, clock counting. First quarter, 7-6, Central leads it. Receivers each way, back and Ware. Now back will go in motion right to left. Here is Steinwan, handoff goes to Smart. Smart breaks it, 40, gets outside, 35, he's to the 30, cuts back, and then he falls down. As he made his cut back, he lost his footing at the 28. But a nice pickup up there for the first down. Well, I tell you what, he didn't find anything that between the tackles and just scooted it to the outside.
Yeah, Grand Forks Central right now is getting 8 guys up in the box, and they're really keying on Minot High's running game. Like you said, he doesn't take much of a crease for him to find room, and he darted out to the left for a nice gain.
Minot 1st and 10 from their own, from their central 28-yard line. Olander, the fullback, the tailback is Smart. Here's the handoff. Olander again. He'll pick up 5. Saving tackle there by number 58 for the Central Knights. That is Jason Blue, the 6 foot, 235-pound senior.
Yeah, they found something early in this game. That's the second time they've run that little trap play to Olander, and both times. That time he was about a half a step away from making another big run. But that's something they've seen in film obviously this week where they thought they could exploit, and they're doing a very good job of it early in the game.
A gain of 5. We have twin receivers back in the slot. Here's Steinwan, pitch high. This is Smart. No, he ain't going nowhere this time. Boy, Parks was there, along with number 15. That's James Wright. They smelled that one from the start. It's a loss back to the 26-yard line, a loss of 3, and we'll make it 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, they're really keying on Smart. That time they were actually stunting there a little bit, sending a couple of their inside linebackers, and they got some penetration.
Maybe play action here.
I'd say maybe boot.
Here is a Steinwan under center. Play action. Now he rolls right. Now he's going to run. Can he get far enough? He's close to the first down. He's going to come up.
Little short.
Might be. Well, depends on where they marked that.
No, I think he's.
Where they're marking that, that's a first down. They're going to mark that at about the 17-yard line, which is about a yard more than they needed. Actually, the 16-yard line. So actually, that was a pickup of 10 on the play. Boy, Steinwan trying to beat those defensive players and just got enough.
Yeah, they run a little boot out there, and Grand Forks Central's defensive backs right now are playing so deep, and they're going with the receivers that once he got by contained, there was nobody out there to come up and force.
Nelson, the tight end on the right side, in motion back from right to left. Now who's going to get the football? Smart. Straight ahead. He's down to the 10. Maybe right outside the 10. We'll make it a pickup of 6 and call it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, good little mix right now in Minot High's running game. They're giving them some different looks with the trap, and they're trying to get to the outside a little bit, and then they pop those 2 plays up the middle. So they're giving them a lot of different looks, and right now they're moving the ball pretty successfully.
And we're moving right along in this football game. 3:50 clock counting. We've had 1 pass in the game, and that was a completed pass. Hoffman in motion, right to left. By the way, Bercier in there at the fullback. He gets the football this time, and he'll get inside the 10 to about the 8.
Bercier on the carry.
So Bercier, Bercier is a 6 foot, 180-pound junior, giving Jace Olander a breather. And we're going to have 3rd and about 2 for Minot High.
A big 3rd down here early in the game. You're inside the 10. This could easily be 2-down territory.
3rd and 2 from the 8. Here's the handoff. It goes to Smart. Touchdown. Ooh, out. The offensive line blew the Grand Forks defensive line right off the ball, and the hole was as big as ever. And you could have took a Mack truck through that one.
Yeah, the great job of getting off the football and getting into Grand Forks defensive line, and actually the guard gets off and gets to the second level to get to the backer to stop the flow, and like you said, there was just a gaping hole in there. Smart didn't even get touched.
2nd touchdown of the night for Dante Smart. 1 from 7, this one from 8. They'll go for 2. If there is any kind of thorn in the side of Minot High right now, it's their special teams point after touchdown team. Here's back. He'll run it in. Did they direct snap that to back?
No, that was that jet motion again.
Jet motion.
That wide receiver motion. They come straight down the line. They give it to him. The one thing you're going to see, though, is they keep doing that in this game. Grand Forks is playing a little different scheme. Their outside linebackers are fairly wide. That time he cut it up inside the defensive end because of the way those linebackers are flying up the field.
All right, so Minot takes back the lead. Exactly 3 minutes left to play first quarter. It's the Magicians 14, the Knights 7, back in 30. Broadcast of this game being brought to you in part by Magic City Garage Door. Call the crew today for all your residential and commercial garage door needs, 852-1973, and the Glass Doctors on South Broadway, where we fix your pains. One of the upbacks takes the kickoff here, and again breaks it. He's to the 40, 45, up there midfield.
That was Schmidt.
That is Schmidt, and we've heard his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's had a real good first quarter here. Caught the nice touchdown pass, and there again, same place as they broke the last kickoff, right back up the middle. They've obviously found a soft spot in Minot's coverage.
All right, so Minot has to shore up that special teams here. The ball will be right at the Grand Forks Central 49-yard line. A single receiver each way here. Under center, Johnson, one back. That is Parks. He'll get the call, and not much there. Wyatt Grindy, one of them in there. Sure that was Parks?
Yep.
Okay, it was 44, okay. So it'll be little gain. We're going to give him a gain of 1, 2, let's say 3, and make it 2nd and 7.
Just straight little zone dive play there right up the middle, bringing two tight ends in, trying to widen out Minot High's defensive line with by alignment, and didn't find a lot of room, but still a decent gain on first down.
Jager comes wide left and Schmidt wide right. Again, Parks the lone setback. Under center, Johnson. Play action. Now he's in trouble. It goes down. Ooh, coming off the edge, number 34 for Minot. That is Dylan Bercier, and Johnson never had a chance. He play faked it and then wanted to roll right, and he turned around, and Bercier was right there.
Yeah, good call there on the defensive side of the ball. They're bringing Bercier off the edge, getting, like you said, by the time he finished his play fake, Bercier was all over him. He didn't have a chance.
All right, so they'll go 3rd down now, the ball all the way back to the 44-yard line, so it's 3rd and 15 for Grand Forks Central from their own 44.5-yard line. 1.5 to play in the quarter, and now what do we got? Timeout? Timeout, Grand Forks Central. 1:33 to play. 14-7 Minot. Back in a minute. Big 3rd down play for the Knights right here. They'll send 4 receivers right, 1 left, naked backfield, and shotgun is Johnson over the middle. He's got Schmidt. Ooh, and he is just rocked by back at the 39-yard line of Minot High, but it's enough for a first down, a 17-yard gain, and Schmidt is still down. Ooh, I'll tell you what, back just leveled him.
Yeah, he's sitting back there in a safety position, and good throw, good catch, nice little play, but he definitely paid for that one. You know what they did there was they went kind of a trick play. They lined Schmidt up as a tight end. You saw the 4 guys out wide. One of those guys was on the line of scrimmage as a wide receiver. Need your 5 guys on the wide receiver or on the line of scrimmage, and they snuck Schmidt right down the middle of the field. Little bit of trickery there.
Broadcast of this game brought to you in part by Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, your player of the game sponsor, and American Family Insurance, our insurance agents, Mike Lucy and Randy Shep here in Minot. Call them today for all your protection under one roof, 852-1078. Schmidt still down at the 40. It looked as if he was going to get up, and then all of a sudden he just kind of laid back down. He really took a hit.
Yeah, he was. He got hit right in the midsection and kind of lifted up and drove back down into the ground. Hopefully it's something that he can catch his wind and come back into the football game, because he's got
a good one.
Yeah, he's had a real good first half, and they're going to miss him on both sides of the football.
1:27 to play in the quarter, 14-7 Minot. They're still working on Gear Schmidt. Now they're going to get him up to his feet, it looks like. Bill Lorenz, the head coach out there, along with trainer. Now they got him just sitting up. Now he's going to get up, and looks like he may walk off under his own power. Looks like he'll be all right. I think maybe he just got his bell rung a little bit.
Yeah, I probably got the
My
wind.
bell would have been rung.
Yeah, he probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. Just take a few minutes and regroup. I think we'll probably see him back on the football field.
All right, coming in for him is Prasnicki, who will go wide right, Jaeger wide left, straight I formation. Handoff will go to Parks. Parks looking for room, nothing there. Nice job by the interior line of Minot High. And the play is blowing dead. Had all kinds of players in there.
Yeah, you know
Vendrup was in there. We also had from Minot, Max Murphy.
That's one thing, we didn't really talk a lot about last week on the defensive side of the ball, but I thought Minot High did a really good job of tackling last week, and so far they're getting plenty of people to the ball and doing a good job this week too.
Offset I in the backfield, one receiver each way. Here's Johnson, handoff again to Parks. Parks got a little room, and he'll bust his way up across the 35 to about maybe the 31-yard line. It's going to be about a yard and a half short of the first down.
Shows real good vision there. That just a straight little zone play, dive play. Starts off to the left. He kind of gets bottled up there, but sees an opening back to his right and is able to switch directions and get up there for positive yards.
We'll call it a third and a long, or let's say 3rd and 2. Receivers each way again. Offset I in the backfield. Here's Johnson. He'll turn, handoff. Who gets it? Parks, first down. No, maybe not. Well, maybe his forward progress will get him there. It looked at first he might be pushed back, but it looks like he's going to get enough. And that's the end of the first quarter. Grand Forks Central will have a 1st and 10 when we come back. After 1, Minot High 14, Grand Forks Central 7, back in a minute. Thank you. Score from Jamestown in AAA football, 3rd quarter. Bismarck High 35, Jamestown nothing. So Bismarck High, the top-ranked team in the state, on their way to a 2nd straight victory. Twins score 5-2 Indians, bottom half of the 7th. Twins started 5 games out of 1st place behind Detroit when play started tonight. All right, we've got 1 receiver each way. Here is Johnson. He wants to throw. They're trying to set the screen up. They've got it to the 25, 20, 15. Cuts back to the 10. This is Parks. He's to the 5. Still on his feet. Touchdown. Ooh, he did that all on his own the last 10, 15 yards.
It's going to come back. We're going to have a hold here out back at the 20. But, yeah, excellent play. Good job of selling the pass, and they dumped it off to him. And then, well, he had a couple guys out in front of him, but he really finished that run. The last 5 to 7 yards was done completely on his own.
All right, I didn't see the flag go down, but boy, Parks showed how tough he is right there. He ran through a bunch of tackles.
Yeah, really good play. That's the first time in the game, the first game in this first quarter that Minot High has actually missed some tackles.
All right, the penalty occurred at the 20. It goes from that point in high school football back to the 30. So it's going to be 3rd down or 1st down now in about, we'll say 11. Jaeger will go wide right in the slot. Schmidt is back in there, so he returns after being shaken up. Here's Johnson. He'll turn. No, he'll give it to the fullback, Zaraka. Straight ahead. He's across the 25 to about the 24. It's a gain of about 7 on the play, make it 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it's same little trap play that Minot High's ran with success early in this game. Coach Holman said that they both teams play the similar defenses, so I'm thinking Grand Forks said, well, they've run it on us and had success, we'll try it on them.
All right, so here is Johnson, brings them out. Both receivers go left now. Here is the handoff. It'll go to Parks, and he's met by Alex Nelson, the end one of them. Also there was Olander and Tyler Loeffler.
Yes.
Actually, that was Tyler Hilsendegger, the other end.
2nd down and 6, and Coach Danielson decides to bring a little pressure. They blitzed both inside linebackers that time, got some penetration, and got back to Parks before he could get going.
3rd and 6 now for Grand Forks Central at the Minot High 25-yard line. 10:30 clock rolling. Minot leads it 14-7. Here's Johnson. He'll roll right. He wants to throw. Gets pressure from the backside. Throws it, but it's incomplete. And that'll force a 4th down. I don't know. This would be about a 25, 32, 42-yard field goal if they tried it. And
yeah,
they
it looks
do
like
have
they're
Nagel in there. So Nagel,
they're going to line up for it anyways.
they'll lay it down at the, we're going to call it the 32. Holding will be Johnson. Nagel will try a 42-yard field goal with the wind. He will have the benefit of the wind right here. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up. Is it long enough? It is good. Just got over the crossbar. So Nagel connects from 42 yards out, and it's a 4-point margin. Score now, 10:24 to play. First half, Minot High 14, Grand Forks Central 10, back in 30. Coleman and Smart. Well, maybe that is not Smart back there. Is it 29 or 39? Well, maybe that is 35. That might be Mellum. It's hard to read his number. That's Mellum. Okay, and the kick will go out. A touchback. Minot will get it 1st and 10 at their 20. Nagel's got a pretty good leg on him.
Yeah, he kicks that one through the end zone, and like I said, 42-yard field goal. Just got past the crossbar. That little bit of a breeze we've got might have helped him out.
All right, we're going to change quarterbacks. Minot High will bring in Max Murphy, the 5'10", 165-pound junior. And he'll quarterback this series. He'll go wide left. Will be Josh Bellum. In the slot is Hoffman. Murphy under center. Smart is his tailback. He'll hand it off to Dante. Dante breaks. Oh, nice job there. Broke initially through the line of scrimmage, but then closing quickly was Parks, I think.
Real good play from his linebacker spot there. Smart made a nice little cut at the line of scrimmage and found a hole, but Parks did a good job, stayed home, didn't over pursue, and got him, drops him for what, a 3-yard gain maybe.
Under 10 minutes to play. It's a 4-yard gain. We're going to call it 2nd and 6 from the Minot High 24-yard line. Murphy, bubble pass, gets it out here to back, gets some room, he's to the 30, 35, 40, 45, up to the 47-yard line, about a 23-yard pickup. Boy, and I'll tell you, he got a nice block out there, but then he made a couple of great moves.
Yeah, great job by Ben Ware, coming down from his wide receiver position and cracking on the outside linebacker. And, you know, with the scheme they're playing, once he blocks that linebacker, the corner is already sitting at 7 yards deep, and he's backpedaling. Then he makes him miss and picks up a big gain.
1st and 10 from the 47, handoff. This is Smart. Smart gets about 2 before he's tackled there. So it'll be 2nd, and we'll call it 8 from just outside the 50-yard line, the mid-stripe line. Again, Beavers in action, 2009 debut at home against Concordia St. Paul. 12:30 pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff right here on KCJB tomorrow. 2 receivers left, back is in the slot. Straight eye formation. 2nd and 8 from the 50. Here's that bubble pass again. This time comes out the back, and back quickly goes and recovers it. Chance that could have been a fumble, but it was called incomplete. Murphy kind of hurried that throw right there.
Yeah, that's one you got to complete. Like I said, just by scheme, Grand Forks Central is giving you that play all day long. You make one block on the outside backer, and like I said, the cornerback is playing so deep And as soon as the ball snaps, he starts backpedaling. You know, you could legitimately pick up 6 or 7 yards every time you threw that pass.
3rd down and 8 from the Minot High 49-yard line. Clock stopped with 8:49 to play on the incompletion. 14-10 here in the second quarter. Minot High leads. Hoffman in motion. Here's the handoff. Smart. He'll pick up a first down. He's going to go the distance. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, no flags. Ooh, once he got through the initial hole, he just turned on the Jets.
Yeah, you know, they run that play a ton now already early in this part of the season. You know, they bring Hoffman down, fake the ball to him, and then it's just a straight dive up the middle. But what a good job up front. You know, those guards are getting into those linebackers on the second level, and once you give Smart a little bit of room, he makes a little cut, and he's down the center of the field for a touchdown.
Hoffman for the extra point. It's down. The kick is up. The kick is good! Minot High hits their first point after touchdown of the year. And you can see Pete Stenberg, the special teams coach down there, he's giving it a clap. So Hoffman gets it through. 8:39 to play. First half, Minot High 21, Grand Forks Central 10, back in 30. Six yards, thanks to Chris Beery in the Minot Daily News for that statistical update. And Minot leads at 21-10.
What a luxury, you know, 3rd down and 7, and you're able to run basically a straight dive up the middle. Not only pick up the first down, but break it for a big play and a touchdown.
Here is a squib kick. It's going to be taken up by one of the upbacks. It's number 32 for Grand Forks Central. That's David Nelson. He goes around the edge and gets up to about the 37. Now, was that planned that way? Because now they have not covered very well on kickoff returns, so basically they don't want the ball in the hands of Park or Schmidt.
Yeah, no, that was done on purpose. They trying to kick to one of the upbacks. They, you know, sacrifice a little bit of field position here maybe, but you don't run the risk of giving them an even bigger play because they have had 2 good kickoff returns.
Jaeger wide right in the slot on the right side is Schmidt. Here's the handoff to Parks. Parks coming off the right side. We're going to have a flag that's going to come back. He gets it up to about the 43, but we're going to have a hold. That one will come back. The flag is at the 37-yard line of Grand Forks Central.
Yeah, I think one of their linemen got tangled up there with one of the Minot High defensive linemen, and he just kind of ended up dragging him down. So we're going to end up with 1st and 20 here.
1st and 20 because the flag is behind the line of scrimmage, so then they take it from the line of scrimmage. Minot High, by the way, has not been flagged yet. They had one thrown on them on the touchdown pass to Schmidt that was declined.
Yeah, you know, they played real clean in the first half last week, too. The second half is where it kind of got a little sloppy with the penalties.
All right, we got Schmidt wide left, 2 receivers right. That's Jaeger and Prasnicki. Here is the pitch. It goes to Parks coming right side. He's got some room. Ooh, did he level somebody? He stood somebody up and moved him back about 3 yards.
Yeah, Isaiah Steinwan coming in from his corner position there, trying to force on that pitch play, and Parks lowered his shoulder, and you know, he ran right over the top of him pretty much.
Pickup of 11, make it 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line as we go under 8 minutes to play first half. 21-10, Minot High. Schmidt comes to the short side of the field. Prasnicki and Jaeger wide left. Here's the handoff again to Park. Spins his way, not much there. Gets maybe to the 40, maybe to the 41. But he's going to be about 8 yards short, or 7 yards short of the first down. Nelson and Hilsendigger, the 2 ends, in on the play.
Central comes out now, you know, giving Minot High a little different look. They're going 3 wide receivers, a little bit of shotgun stuff, throwing in some option there, and you know, we'll see how Minot High adjusts. You know, with the scheme that Minot High runs, I think Grand Forks could find some success running their option game.
Jaeger goes wide left, in the slot is Prasnicki. Schmidt is wide right. 1 back, play action. Johnson over, tries to get it out here. Incompletion. He wanted to get it to Jaeger on coverage. was Steinwan. He almost got the interception there. And it'll be 4th down, and Central will punt. Punter for Grand Forks Central is Tyler Haug. Stands inside his 30. Coleman and back to receive the punt. High snap, gets it down, kick is up. This one's a pretty decent kick. Back will let it go, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the Minot High 20-yard line. 6:56 to play. 21-10 Minot High, the broadcast of this game. Brought to you in part by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. Call them today at 852-1078. And also, the Glass Doctors on South Broadway, where we fix your pains. Minot will have it 1st and 10 from their 20, leading 21-10. 3 Dante Smart touchdowns from 7, from 8, and from 51. They'll send Hoffman and Mellum. That's Josh Mellum wide left with Hoffman in the slot. We've got Olander back in there at fullback. Smart still the tailback. Murphy running the controls at quarterback. He hands off to Smart. Smart will get it up to about the 21.5-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 1, make it 2nd and 9.
One of the few times there that Grand Forks Central has got some penetration and actually got to Smart before he can really get his motor going.
Smart will stay in there. Here comes back. Down to 12 on the play clock, and they're just getting out of the huddle. Murphy will bring them up quickly. Tangasdal is back in there now at the tailback. Smart is in motion. Here's the handoff. It goes to Smart from that slot back. He'll pick up yardage up to about the 25. Pick up of maybe 3 and make it 3rd and about 6. So that time Tangasdal in there at the tail, and they had Smart lined up in a slot.
Looks like Smart's going to stay in the game. Probably play that slot position again. See if they come back, maybe fake it to him and give it to Tangasdal up the middle now.
3rd and about 6. Mellum will bring a play in from the sidelines. He'll come wide left. That's the short, or no, he'll go wide right. Smart will come wide left. He is on the short side of the field. He'll come in motion. Offset I. Handoff will go this time to quarterback Murphy, and he'll pick up the 1st down. He faked to Smart, he faked to Tangasdal, and then just takes the football and goes around the left side and picks up the 1st down up to, the 33-yard line, a gain of about 8 on the play.
Yeah, good job. Little misdirection there, like you said. They get the defense thinking Dante Smart going from left to right, and then they fake to Tangasdal going right, and then Murphy just kind of stands back there and holds the ball, lets the traffic clear, and he kind of pops out to the left on the short side of the field and picks up the 1st down fairly easily.
Clock should be running. 5:25 to play. Now they give the ball to, was that the fullback or was that Tangasdal? Or Smart?
I think it was...
that was Tangasdal.
Yeah.
Tangasdal gets the carry, but not much there. Maybe a yard, maybe 2. We'll call it 2nd and 8. Clock running with 5 minutes to play in the half. Minot leads it 21-10. Nelson, the tight end, will go on the right side. A receiver each way, single receivers. Straight I formation. Murphy turns, he'll throw down, gets it here to back. Did back drop it? Yeah,
Yep.
He did, incomplete. Looked like he might have been trying to run with the football before he caught the football.
Yeah, like I said, with as far off as the defensive back's playing on him out there, he just runs down. He just runs about a 5-yard stop, and like you're exactly right. He wanted to. He still had some space, and he wanted to catch that ball and run before he secured it, and takes his eyes off it a little bit and ends up dropping the ball.
Ware and Hoffman back in there for Minot High at the wide receivers. Hoffman will come wide left. Ware will go wide right. Olander, the offset, or at the fullback spot in the offset I formation. In motion comes Hoffman. Hoffman will get the Hoffman won't get the football. They'll give it to Smart. Smart gets very little. Almost looked like they handed off to Hoffman with the option to pass right there.
Yeah, the exact same play they just scored on the 51-yard touchdown run. 3rd and 8 again. They went back to it. That time Grand Forks was ready for it, and they did a good job up the middle of stuffing Minot High's line and getting some penetration.
Minot will have to punt for the first time. Isaiah Steinwan stands at his 25. Back deep is Ger Schmidt. There's the snap. It's a good snap. The kick is away. It's a decent kick. It's going to angle towards the Grand Forks Central sidelines, and it will be down by Minot at the 26-yard line. 21-10. Minot leads at 3:57 to play in the half. By the way, Magicians right back here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium next week for the 3rd straight week. They'll play the other Grand Forks team, the Red River Rough Riders. Again, that is an 8 o'clock start. That'll be the final 8 o'clock starting time for Minot High home games. The rest, which consists of only 2, will be 7 o'clock starts.
Big drive here for Grand Forks Central. See, if they can put some points on the board, get it back to, a 3 or 4 point game going into halftime, would be a real important boost for them coming out in the second half.
That's a new running back in there, Tyler Haug, 5'10", 165-pound sophomore, ran that one. Clock down to 3.5 and counting. .24, Haug. Here is a pass going deep, looking for Schmidt. He missed him. Boy, he got it out. That wasn't Schmidt, that was Jaeger out there.
Yep.
Boy, and he had him, but he just kind of overthrew him just a bit. Pretty good coverage by Coleman right there.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. They just went with a straight 7-step drop and just straight fly patterns on both sides. And, decent coverage, but he did have a step, and the ball was just thrown about a half a yard too far.
3rd and 8. Jaeger and Prasnicki come wide right with Prasnicki in the slot. Wide left is Schmidt out of the shotgun. Ooh, he fumbles the snap, and now picked up by Haug, and Haug is smothered way back at about the 13-yard line. Looked as if Johnson just took his eye off the football right there.
Yeah, I think he was looking at the coverage, and just made the mistake of not securing the football first, and that turns out to be a big loss here.
15-yard loss right there. It's going to be 4th and a country mile.
Yeah,
they'll punt it. Boy, this is huge right here.
Yeah, the bad part about that is, Minot High could get great field position here with 2.5 minutes left before the half.
Here is Haug's kick. Good kick. It is going to be fielded by Coleman at the 45 of Minot. To midfield. He's to the 45. Looking for some running room. Still on his feet. Now he's going to... Boy, he went the wrong way, but he does get back to the 43. He started angling back, trying to get away from tacklers, then just decided, you know what, I better just get what I can.
Yeah, he gave up a little ground, but he was 1 block away, and Minot High had a guy there that kind of whiffed on it, but he was 1 block away from maybe getting down this left sidelines and taking that to the house.
Broadcast of this game brought to you in part by Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, your player of the game sponsor, and also American Family Insurance Agents. Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. Call them today at 852-1078. Hoffman wide right, wide left is Mellum. Straight I formation, Olander the fullback, tailback is Smart. In motion, Hoffman, now he goes back the other way. Here's Murphy, handoff, this is Smart. Smart breaks a tackle, he's to the 30, cuts back 25, and finally is leg tackled by number 2, that's Jaeger. But another big pickup there, 43 to the 19, that'll be a 24-yard pickup.
We've been talking about how good Minot High's offensive line's been playing, and they have been doing a great job. But you got to give number 40, Jace Olander, there a lot of credit too. He's been doing a good job of leading for Dante, and he gets up there and picks off a linebacker and gives him that little bit of crease that he needs.
So it'll be 1st and 10, the ball at the 19-yard line of Grand Forks Central. Oh, this would be a huge score for Minot if they could score here. And now we're going to get offsides, I think, on Grand Forks Central unless they were pushed off or drawn off, and that's exactly what happened. Minot drew them off. First penalty of the ball game on Minot High.
Yeah, I'm sure that was addressed after I think they had 11.
Oh, wait a minute. They went the wrong way. It was offsides on Grand Forks Central.
Yeah, they did.
So the ball resting right at the 15-yard line. They only got 4 yards on that penalty right there.
The guy in the white hat had us confused there.
They only got a 4-yard penalty there. Yeah, and I think this linesman over here sees it too.
Yeah.
The ball was at the 19. Now it's at the 15. Now they got to move it up 1 more yard. There we go.
All right, now they got her straight.
All right, now we got 1st and 5 from the Grand Forks Central 14-yard line. Clock running, just over 2 minutes to play. Here's the handoff to Olander, and he pulls his way down to about the 11. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. Grand Forks Central, by the way, will play at home for the first time next week. They will play host to Mandan. Mandan playing at Grand Forks Red River tonight.
That should be a good ball game next week.
Hopefully we'll get some final scores. Last score we had from Jamestown, Bismarck led 35-0 in the third quarter over the Blue Jays. Smart now is wide left. Tangasdal back in there. Here comes Smart in motion. They'll give the hand up. Tangasdal, touchdown. Wow. Murphy did a great job to sell that fake right there. And Tangasdal never got touched by a gray shirt.
Yeah, good job again up front. Like I said, Minot High's offensive line is just doing a great job of getting out and putting a hat on a hat up front. And you know, with both of these backs, they've both got good vision, and with the zone blocking, you know, they don't have to pick a particular hole. You know, their job is to run to space, and right now Minot High's offensive line is giving it to them.
Hoffman's point after touchdown will be no good. I think it was partially blocked.
Yeah.
So Minot High with 1:24 left in the half. 27-14, Magi lead it back in 30. Central, again, remember, our inaugural Coach's Corner tomorrow from Buffalo Wings and Rings, 10:30 tomorrow morning. Sponsored by Buffalo Wings and Ring and American Family Insurance agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. Scheduled to appear on the show, Paul Rudolph of Minot State, Barry Holman of Minot High, James Johnson of Delax Burlington. They picked up their first win today, and also the head football coach at Dakota College at Bottineau, Darwin Rutledge. Here is the kick. This one will be taken by, is that Parks? Yeah, Parks at the 20. He's to the 25, and to the 30, up to about the 32. So better coverage there by the Magicians. And Grand Forks Central 1:13 to play, and they have two timeouts left. 1st and 10 at the 32. They'll send Schmidt, and they also split out here on this side Brenton Langerud, 6'1", 190-pound senior. He's in the slot. Here's the handoff. Parks, and he falls down at the 30. That's not Parks, that's Haug, I think. Is that 33 or 3?
I couldn't tell.
33, okay, that was Zaraka. Zaraka on the carry, but he loses 2 as he lost his footing and his knee went down at the 30. Again, they split 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun with a back on either side. Handoff goes to one of those backs. He's up to the 36, which will be a pickup of about 6.
That was Parks that time.
That was Parks on the carry. Be about 6.5 yards short of the first down. And we're down to 17 seconds, so he might get one more play off here.
Yeah, they're not in any hurry here.
They want to get to halftime.
Yeah, we'll see, though. They may just take a shot, last play of the game, throw it deep, see what happens.
Here's Johnson. He'll throw, play action, looks over here for Schmidt and overthrows him, and that's how the half will end. Pretty entertaining first half. Minot gets 3 rushing touchdowns from Dante Smart, another one from Jonas Tangasdal, and they lead at the half. Minot High 27, Grand Forks Central 10. Your halftime show up next in 3 minutes. of our broadcast tonight. We talked about it in the pregame show. These two teams want to keep the ball on the ground. Well, Minot's ran it 22 times, Grand Forks Central 11 times. Central has thrown it 6 times, Minot's thrown it 4. So it's pretty much what we really expected in this ball game between these two run-oriented teams.
Yeah, the Magicians up front have just dominated this first half, and with the combination of Smart and Tengestal, and you throw Jace Olander in there with his 3 carries and 37 yards. They've really pounded out the running game, but they did find a little bit of success with that bubble screen a couple times. Just enough to keep Grand Forks Central honest with their passing game, but they really haven't had to open it up and show a lot more. So, like I said again, just the offensive line is just doing a fantastic job of getting off the ball and creating space for these two backs.
All right, let's recap the scoring in this first half. Minot High, after stopping Grand Forks Central on their initial drive, took the ball. Didn't take them very long to get it into the end zone. Dante Smart went in from 7 yards out. It was a four-play drive. The point after touchdown try by Jared Hoffman was no good. So Minot through, I guess, through a game and a little bit of a quarter, we're still over in the PAT department. So Minot led 6-0. But Central came right back. A great return deep into Minot territory by Grant Parks. And that set up Grand Forks Central in great field position, and not even a minute later, at the 8:17 mark at the first, Brady Johnson went up top to Gur Schmidt from 27 yards out. Alex Nagel added the PAT, and Central led briefly 7-6, but Minot got the lead back at the 3-minute mark of the first half. Dante Smart with his second touchdown of the game, an 8-yard run. Darren Back ran it in for the 2-point conversion. Minot led 14-7. That's how the quarter ended. Second quarter, at the 10:24 mark, Alex Nagel showed he had a pretty good leg in him as he kicks a 42-yard field goal. Yes, it was with the wind, but still a pretty good kick for Nagel. That put Central back on the board again, 14-10. Well, Minot finishes out the scoring in the second quarter, 8:39 mark of the second. Smart goes 51 yards for his third touchdown. Jared Hoffman makes the first point after touchdown of the 2009 season for the Magi. They led it 21-10, and then at the 1:24 mark, Jonas Tengestal gets in the act. He goes in from 11 yards out. The PAT was no good, and that's where we stand at the half, 27-10. We're going to take another 3-minute timeout on our halftime show. We'll look at some individual numbers when we come back. That in 3 minutes. From Dwayne Carlson Stadium, Minot High 27, Grand Forks Central 10. Here are some numbers. Boy, this really didn't, I really didn't realize this until I totaled up total yards. Minot with 233 for just 90 for Grand Forks Central. But Dante Smart with about half of that. In fact, he's got more than half. Smart, 14 carries for 125 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jace Olander, 3 carries, 37 yards. Jonas Tengestal, 3 carries, 16 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Steinwan, 1 carry, 10 yards. Max Murphy, 1 carry, 7 yards. Steinwan, 1 of 1 passing for 14 yards. Murphy, 1 of 3 for 24 yards. So 195 yards rushing, 38 passing. Total yards for Minot High, 233. Hoffman's caught 1 pass for 14, back 1 for 24. Grand Forks Central, Grant Parks, 10 carries, 45 yards. And Judd Prasnicki, 1 carry for 3 yards. Passing, Johnson is 2 of 6 for 42 yards and a touchdown. Both of those passes have gone to Schmidt. 2 catches for 42 yards. So 48 yards rushing for Grand Forks Central, 42 passing. 233 to 90. Minot leads in total offense. Again, thanks to Chris Berry of the Minot Daily News for providing those stats to us. And, honestly, Parks has broken a couple of them, but Minot High's done a decent job of really kind of bottling him up tonight.
Yeah, you look at it and you say, well, Grand Forks Central only has 90 yards total offense. Well, that doesn't count the 2 big kickoffs they had, that put them in position to score. Those yards aren't counted, so they were taken into a short field. But, yeah, you're right. Minot High has done a real good job of, a decent job of containing Parks. Grand Forks Central had the big play to him on the screen pass that, was called back because of a holding penalty. At that time, the score was 14-7. Without that penalty, that ties the football game, and you don't know what happens from there. But the penalty brings it back. They have to settle for a field goal, and then all of a sudden, Dante Smart breaks off a big run the next series and makes it 21-10.
Brock, if you're Bill Lorenz, and you talked about it all in the first half, that they were pretty much giving Minot that bubble pass on the outside with the corner playing up so deep. Do you think you make an adjustment in the second half? What can they do? Because they have been so recognizant of Dante Smart, and they've had so much attention on him that they are giving Minot some other things, and they may have to do some adjustment.
Yeah, at this point, you're not going to change your scheme. You're going to run your defense, but maybe we see him start bringing some pressure. That's what Jamestown did to Minot High last week. They changed a few things up and brought a little more pressure. Maybe we'll see some more pressure out of Grand Forks Central this second half, and try to get some penetration and try to get to these backs before they can get their feet moving and create a couple turnovers.
By the way, Cleveland beats the Twins. Indians over the Twins 5-2. At last report, what did you say, 1-1 Detroit? Detroit was tied 1-1 in the 8th. Cowboys and Vikings, who cares? It's the 4th preseason of the game, a game they shouldn't play. I've always been in favor of only playing 2 preseason games. Vikings, Cowboys are tied 21-21 in the 3rd. And Brett Favre is not playing in that ball game.
Yeah, who cares?
I was 150 or 154. Just under 2 minutes left on the halftime clock. Let's take a quick 90-second timeout. Second half is next. Second half here, Minot High will get the football to start the second half. And they lead it 27-10. Again, update, Detroit leading Tampa Bay in the top half of the 9th inning. Top half of the 9th inning, the score is 2-1. Twins lost earlier, 5-2. So if that holds up, Detroit will be a full 6 games in front of Minnesota and really will make it tough on the Twins. And if the Twins do not win that division, Brock, I think it'll go back to that final game of that Chicago series where they led going into the 9th only to give up 4 and lose. Joe Nathan giving up back-to-back home runs to tie the game.
Yeah, the first time in however many years he's given up that many runs. Those games are tough to lose in September.
All right, so Nagel will kick off. Back deep are Smart and Mellum. Actually, Coleman's back there this time with Adam Mellum, the younger one, the sophomore. Nagel, who last time when he kicked from south to north where he has the win, he kicked it into the end zone. This one will also go into the, well, actually, what are they going to do here?
Yeah,
they will call it, yeah, because he touched the ball while he was standing in the end zone.
Yeah, once it crosses the goal line in high school, it's a touchback.
Broadcast of this game brought to you in part by the Glass Doctors on South Broadway in Minot, where we fix your pains. Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, your player of the game sponsor. Also, Magic City Garage Door. Call them today at 852-1973. And your American Family Insurance agents, Mike Lucy and Randy Shep of Minot. You can call them at 852-1078. Steinwan back in at quarterback to start the second half. Receiver each way. Grand Forks Central shows blitz, then they back off. Now, ball given off. That is Smart, I think.
I think he fumbled it.
Okay, did he fumble the football?
Fumbled the snap, yeah.
Yeah, Steinwan fumbles it, gets back down on it. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Be very interested to see what Minot High comes out here the second half. You know, very similar situation last week. Like you said in the pregame, kind of went into a shell, very conservative the second half. You know, walked away with a pretty decent win against Jamestown. I'd see if they can maybe open it up here a little bit, give maybe an early knockout blow here if they can get a big score early in this third quarter.
All right, so here is in motion back, going from left to right. Turn, handoff to, oh no, it's what was that, taken away? Yeah, Grand Forks Central just simply took the ball away on the handoff. I think he wanted to get it to Smart, and I didn't see who come up with that.
I couldn't tell
Anybody
the number
got
either.
the number? 49, they say. Taylor LaHaye. We'll give it to him until we find out differently.
Yeah,
but it almost looks like he just took the football away from him.
Yeah, that would make sense, you know, playing on that linebacker on that side. But, yeah, you know, right away they did. They come out and immediately blitzed and got the penetration, and there was that big turnover we talked about at halftime.
And now on the extra point try, was that just muffed, or did they just...
They ran a little swinging gate there. They lined the kicker in the center up, or the kicker and the holder up like they're going to kick it, but the line was out to the right with the back, and they snapped it to the back, but that didn't fool anyone, and he was stopped way short.
Chris, you're going to call that, what, 20 yards? Okay. 18-yard return of a fumble by Taylor LaHaye of Grand Forks Central, and it's an 11-point game, 27-16. Minot will be back in 30. Try for 2-point conversion, but he's up and running off on his own. So Grand Forks Central was the first big break of the second half, and they've cut this margin to 11. We've only 50 seconds into the game, into the second half. So Nagel will kick it off again. Coleman back deep along with Mellum. That is Adam Mellum, the sophomore. 5'7", 142 pounds. His brother Josh Mellum, one of the starting wide receivers. This one's a line drive taken by Mellum at the 3. He's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20. Oh, and he's leg tackled there by number 24, that's Haug. And Minot will start 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. So not a good start offensively for Minot in his second half.
No, Coach Holman can't be happy with that. You know, like I said, you got an opportunity with a 17-point lead. You get the ball first after dominating up front the first half, and to have a play like that give Grand Forks Central new life. You know, like I said, you just can't. You got to hope you can regroup offensively.
Here's Steinwan. There's Hoffman in motion. Hoffman will get the football, and not much there. Nice job by Grand Forks Central. On the tackle, it was Haug. Also, Jager was there.
Yeah,
Be a loss of 2 on the play.
There we go again. You know, Grand Forks pretty much looks like they might be committed to selling out here to try to stop this run. You know, as soon as the ball was handed off, made a quick count, and there was 9 guys on the other side of the line of scrimmage for Grand Forks Central.
All right, so it'll be 2nd down and 12. They'll send Ware wide left, wide right. It looks as if it's back. Here's the handoff. It'll go to Smart straight ahead. Dante finds a little room, not a lot. No, fumble! Fumble, and let's see. It's going to be whose football?
Looked like Grand Forks might have got on it.
Central will get it. So he gains up to about the 20. what, 23-yard line, then fumbles it back. Actually, I think he got up to the 26 is where he actually got to, which would have been a 5-yard gain, and then he fumbles the football. Second turnover in the first 2 minutes of the second half by Minot High.
And that's what Grand Forks Central needed to do, come out and get a couple turnovers. You know, they're in there reaching for the ball and digging for the ball. One guy standing him up, second guy comes in and starts prying away on it. They've got 2 of them loose this early in the second half.
There is the handoff that goes to Parks. He's got big room across the 15, down to about the 13, maybe the 12-yard line, still on his feet. And finally, it's blowing dead. We'll see where they mark the football.
In volleyball, it was Minot High 3, St. Mary's 2.
So they'll get down to the, 13 is that, or the 12?
Looks like 13.
13. We'll call it, well, actually, it's closer to the 12. We'll call it a gain of 8 for Parks. A gain of 8 for Parks, and it makes it 2nd and 2. Here's Johnson. Johnson will turn, hands it to Parks again, straight ahead. First down to the 5, still on his feet inside the 5, and finally taken down by the Magicians at the 4. Boy, he ran with some authority right there.
Yeah, 2 plays in a row. They just turned around, handed it off to their left side, and fullback leading up, and just straight power football. And he's a power back, and Minot High's had a hard time bringing him down here the first 2 plays of this drive.
So it's 1st and goal at the 4. Boy, Grand Forks Central climbing right back into this one. Guess who gets the football here? 1st and 10 from the 4. 1st and goal from the 4. Handoff, Parks straight ahead. Does he get in? Touchdown, Grant Parks. So that quickly, a 17-point lead by Minot High has evaporated to 4, and it could be 2 or 3 by the time we get done with the extra point. Actually, it should be 27-22. That was my fault. Don't know how to count. They will kick the extra point. Johnson will hold. Nagel will kick. It's down. The kick is up. The kick looks good. It is good. 8:59 to play. 3rd quarter. It's a ball game. Minot High 27. Grand Forks Central 23. Back in 30. Thank you for that final. Bismarck High goes to 2-0 on the year. Jamestown drops to 0-2. Here we got a ball game. Boy, Brock, you've been around the game of football a long time. That's why you've got to take care of the football. This was Minot High pretty much control of this football game, but putting it on the ground twice has made this a ball game.
You know, they went through this last week in the second half. Last week it was penalties. Now this week they come out and 2 early turnovers, and you know, you see what the character of your team is. They had a pretty easy go of it in the second half, and now it looks like they're going to be in for a dogfight the rest of this game.
All right, the ball touchback again on the kickoff by Nagel. Steinwan will remain in there at quarterback for the Magi. Smart will be the tail. But they haven't looked for tight end Alex Nelson at all in the passing game today. They've only thrown the ball 4 times. Right now, they just want to hold on to the football. Is their big thing right now. Here's Steinwan. Steinwan will give it, bring it down the right side. Gives it to Smart, and Smart nothing. Boy, I tell you what. We got a late flag. There's going to be an unsportsmanlike on somebody here. Smart loses back to the 20 or back to the 16-yard line. Loss of 4 on the play.
I didn't really see anything unless there was a taunting on the tackle, maybe by a Grand Forks player. That would be the only thing I could guess.
unsportsmanlike conduct on Grand Forks Central. That will move the ball 15 yards. It came after the play.
Yeah, I think it was somebody got up a little over excited about making a play, and you know, one of the officials probably thought that was too much and called it taunting.
All right, so it moves it up to the 31. It also moves the sticks. So now Minot with a little bit better field position. Ware will go wide right. Smart is wide left, short side of the field. Tingasdal is the tailback. Now Bill Lorenz, I think, wants a explanation from referee Kevin Harmon on what that penalty was.
Yeah, you know, that's tough. It's the linesman on the Minot High sideline is the one who calls it. So obviously, Coach Lorenz wants to know, you know, are they influencing anything over there? And you know, am I going to get that same call later? But you know, I don't know. It didn't look anything outrageous to me, but you know, they're so tight on that in high school athletics that was it's a judgment call.
All right, so it'll be second down or first down and 10 from the 31. In motion is Smart. Handoff will go to Tingasdal, big hole. He's to the 35. He's to the 39. Boy, they got a shoestring tackle on him. If he could have broke through that one, he had big yardage. Who was that? That was Jager that got him.
Yeah.
So it'll be a pickup of from the 31 to the 38 of 7 for Tingasdal. And it'll be 2nd and 3. We're down to 8:15 to play in the quarter.
That's one thing when you're, you know, Grand Forks Central, they're committing a lot of guys to the line of scrimmage. If they do get into that second level, boy, you're on your safety to make tackles.
That was my fault. I turned the wrong mic down.
Oh.
All right, on the second down play, not much there for the Magi. And that'll lose it back to the 34-yard line, 33-yard line, so that's a loss of 5.
Yeah,
who's that on the carry?
That was Steinwand. I'm not sure if there was just a mix-up in the backfield or if they were trying to bootleg out of there and the pressure got to him before he could get out on his bootleg.
All right, so a big third down play for the Magi. 3rd and about 8 from the 33-yard line. Steinwand straight back, wants to throw, gets it out here to Smart, and he drops the football. That's definitely an incomplete pass. Minot will have to punt it away.
Yeah, not a very good drive there for Minot High again. You know, had the one decent run by Tingasdal, got helped by the penalty, which gave him a little better field position. But said Grand Forks Central is really getting them after him now, committing 7-8 guys up front to the stopping the run, and Minot High has not proven they can throw the ball consistently. So we'll see how this plays out the rest of this half.
All right, so back deep is Gur Schmidt. Here's the kick by Steinwand. Not a good kick. It bounces at the midfield stripe into Minot territory. And Grand Forks Central will have decent field position at the Minot High 49-yard line. 7:13 to play, third quarter. It's Minot 27, Grand Forks Central 23. 2 turnovers have turned into 13 points early in this second half, and Grand Forks Central, the Knights, right back in it. So here is Brady Johnson. He brings them out. He's got a wing back on the right side, a wing back also on the left side. Now, what is this? We got timeout, yeah. Grand Forks Central looked like they were a little confused there, so they take timeout. 7:13 to play, third quarter, 27-23 Magi. Back in 1 minute. Talking to me. Why do I take a 60? Well, Parks picks up 6 yards on the first down play. And it's 2nd and 4 for the, actually it's 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3 for Grand Forks Central from the Minot High 41.5 yard line. Minot, I think, jumps over there unless he was drawn off.
I don't think so. I think that was definitely on Minot High.
So that'll result in a first down. I think that's only the 2nd penalty of the night on Minot High.
Yep.
That'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36. Boy, I'll tell you, it's been all Grand Forks Central since the break.
Yeah, this big series here for Minot High's defense. They've been kind of put in a bad position with field position the last 2 drives, but they need to step up and maybe get a turnover of their own.
Johnson wants to throw. He wants to throw the screen, and it's, oh boy, nice job there by number 8. No, that's not 8.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, that was Micah Holman on the play. Yeah, he's out there as a D-back. Micah Holman, 5'11", 161-pound junior. He didn't get fooled on that one.
No, that they went back to that screen pass that they had called back for a touchdown in the 2nd quarter, but Minot High stayed at home, did a good job of staying at home, and dropped him for a big loss.
Here's Parks, gets some running room. He's up across the 35 to the 30, almost picks up the first down. By the way, they lost 5 on that play, on the pass. And now that picks up 13 of the 15 back, so it will be 3rd down and 2.
Grand Forks seen something at halftime. They've really pounded the left side of their offensive line, right side of Minot High's line, and Parks has had a lot of success running that way this 3rd quarter.
3rd and 2, handoff goes to Parks. Parks gets the first down and much, much more across the 20 down to the 15. Tackled there by Bentrup. And that'll be a gain all the way down to the 15-yard line. So that's a gain of 13 on the play. So back-to-back 13-yard gains.
There again, he starts off to the left. This time he cuts it all the way back to the right, but made a big gain. Gets down inside about the 15-yard line now.
Yeah, that's Zaraka on that carry. And he'll pick up, Zaraka will pick up down inside the 10 to the 9. That's a pickup of 6. Boy, I tell you, my offense has been, our defense, they have run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they're, looks like Minot High is getting a timeout here.
All right, we'll take 1, 2, 4:20 to play. Minot High calls timeout, 27-23. Minot High will come back in 30 seconds. Two to 6. One final, Bismarck High 35-0 over Jamestown. If we get any more AAA scores, we will pass on other games. Edina, Minnesota at Fargo South, Century at West Fargo, Mandan at Red River, Minnetonka, Minnesota at Fargo North, and Dickinson playing out at Custer County, Montana. That is Miles City. All right, here's a 2nd and about 4. Handoff will go to Parks. He's got the first down and rolls inside the 5. Boy, he's just punishing the Magician defenders right now.
Yeah, they're not doing anything different. They have, besides the last play where they just tried to sneak the fullback up the middle, it's been Parks running straight power dives to the left side of their offensive line, and Minot right now has not had an answer for it.
Unofficially, I got him 6 carries for 55 yards in this 2nd half.
Yep.
A couple of 13-yard runs.
That's very unofficial, I'm assuming.
Under 4 minutes to play. Handoff goes to Parks again. He'll be short. No. Or that was Zaraka?
No, that was quarterback sneak.
Oh, okay. Johnson keeps it. And now they're going to give him the touchdown. So Johnson will get in from 3 yards out. Grand Forks Central all of a sudden has the lead here with 3:49 to play.
They come out there and just quick snapped them, go right, and kind of caught Minot High off guard and just quarterback sneak for 4 yards. That just kind of shows Minot High has been on their heels this whole third quarter.
All right, I kind of looked away so I didn't see exactly what happened there. There's the point after touchdown. That's good by Nagel. And now we have a new leader. Grand Forks Central leads 3:49 to play. Third quarter, they have scored 20 unanswered points, and they lead it. Grand Forks Central 30, Minot High 27, back in 30. Thank you very much, Dan. And now Nagel will kick off. Boy, Minot High has got to find some way to generate some offense here. It's been a tale of two halves so far, just like it was a week ago. Here is the kickoff by Nagel. This one will also get into the end zone. Touchback there. Broadcast of this game brought to you in part by the Glass Doctors on South Broadway in Minot, where we fix your pains. Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, your player of the game sponsor. Magic City Garage Door. Call them today at 852-1973. And American Family Insurance Agents, Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. Call them at 852-1078. Minot led 27-10 at the half, but 20 unanswered points by the Knights have given them the lead at 30-27. Minot has turned the ball over twice. And here's the handoff. It'll go to Smart. He breaks it. He's to the 35. Oh, and just the ball broke it all the way. By the way, Murphy back in there at quarterback. So a good start there for the Magi. Best play of the second half so far, by far.
Yeah, they're there. They finally, offensive line finally stopped that penetration. And, like I said, once he gets into the second level, if you're going to commit that many guys to the line of scrimmage, you put a lot of pressure on your safeties to make tackles.
They'll send Ben Ware wide left, wide right, goes back. Olander is the fullback. The tailback is Dante Smart. In motion comes back all the way. They'll hand it again. Here's Smart straight ahead to the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, still on his feet at the 35-yard line. Who did he blow or did he bust open there? He's, again, as I mentioned last week, Brock, he's not a very big kid, but he isn't afraid to take on tacklers.
No, and he does a good job of keeping his feet moving after first contact, and said he just, runs hard and with determination.
29-yard pickup. It's down to the Grand Forks Central 33.5-yard line. We go under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Minot trails 30-27. In motion, Hoffman. Now we got a flag. Somebody is lined up offsides. And it's going to be on Central. One of the Central linemen saying, me?
Good ball. Encroachment. Defense.
We've seen more of this in the first two games, high school games this year, than I think I saw all last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Minot got called for it, 5 times last week, and now twice here by Grand Forks Central. So now it'll be 1st and 5 from the 29-yard line. Fullback Olander. In motion out of the backfield comes Smart. They'll throw off this one. Pressure, there's a ball. Deep to Smart, almost makes the catch. Murphy had to let it go just a bit sooner than he wanted to right there, Brock. But Smart almost made the catch.
Yeah, they take Dante, and he starts out in the I formation, and they run him out to the right, make that a twin set, and basically all they're doing is running 4 vertical routes against a cover 3 on that Grand Forks is running, and that puts a lot of pressure on the safety in the middle of the field. He has to choose, one guy or the other, and he had him open, but like you said, the pressure got there and made him throw that just a little bit sooner than he wanted to. 2nd
and 5. In motion comes back now from left to right. They'll hand it off. This is Smart straight ahead. He's to the 25, 20, and falls forward to about the 19. That will be a gain of about another 10 on the play. And Minot now is inside the red zone. 1st and 10 at the Grand Forks Central 19-yard line, 1:53 to play. Clock stopped as they move the sticks.
This drive, I think Minot High's offensive line maybe got a little bit of a chewing out over here.
Think so?
Yeah, they've got their heads up now, and they're seeing those linebackers coming, and they're doing a good job of picking them up.
Hoffman in motion. Handoff again, Smart. Smart hit hard right at the line of scrimmage and finished off right there. Haug finished him off. I can't pick up the number of the kid that initially hit him.
I think that was Parks from his inside linebacker.
Be no gain. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Here comes back and Ware into the game. 1:10 clock running. 30-27. It's been a complete turnaround from the first half. Central leads it. In the slot will be back. Wide left is Ware. Again, Smart, the tailback, offset eye. Here's back in motion. Back will get the football around the right side. Cuts it back up, still on his feet. He'll get down to about the 15. And those were tough yards. He had to pick them up pretty much on his own. Jaeger with the tackle for Grand Forks Central, down to 40 seconds to play in the quarter. It'll be a 3-yard gain for back.
Got to figure here, 3rd down and 6, it looks like. Probably 2-down territory.
I don't think we're kicking a field goal.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the kicking game's kind of out of the question right now. So let's see if they just try to pound this out, 2 downs, and pick up the 1st down.
Hoffman is in the slot on the left side. Handoff will go to Smart. He gets to the 15. Good tackle right there by Parks. And it's going to make it 4th and 5.
Yeah, real good play by Parks. But, when they don't get to him, he does a real good job inside there, flowing from tackle to tackle, and he's made a lot of plays on the defensive side of the ball too today.
And the 3rd quarter comes to an end. The Magicians like that because it wasn't a very good 3rd quarter for Minot High. 20 straight scored by Central. In that 3rd quarter, they've taken the lead. It's Grand Forks Central 30, Minot High 27. Back in a minute. Minot High from the Grand Forks Central 15-yard line as we start the 4th quarter. Big play right here for both teams. Bercier, by the way, is the fullback. Under center is Murphy, calling signals. He'll turn. He's going to roll right. He's looking to get it on his own, and he will. 10-5. Touchdown, Max Murphy. What a great play by Max Murphy. He just came around the edge and just got the corner, and then about the 5-yard line, cut back in and dived into the end zone for a go-ahead touchdown. Pretty nice play by the junior.
Yeah, that they give a little play action there, and they make it look like boot, but I think that's more of a designed quarterback sprint out, and he just tucks it, and he's looking for the 1st down. Well, once he makes the corner, he turned it upfield, and he started smelling the goal line, and he got there.
Here's Hoffman with the point after touchdown. This one's had no chance from the start. This one had no chance from the start. The snap was, I think, low and then mishandled, and Jared Hoffman didn't have a chance to get a foot into it. 11:52 to play. Minot leads it again now. Magicians 33. Grand Forks Central 30 back in 30. Well, Brock, for those of you who like defensive battles, apparently you don't want to be at this game, but boy, for the fan that loves to see scoring, we've seen a lot of it in this one.
Yeah, been very entertaining 3 quarters here, and I don't see why it's going to change any. You got Grand Forks got a couple of early turnovers in that quarter, got back into the football game, finally took the lead, and then Minot High kind of righted the ship there with that last drive. They stopped the penetration, and they got their running game going again, but took a good play on 4th down by Max Murphy to turn the corner and get into the end zone to give Minot High the lead back.
Steinwagen's kick will go out of bounds, and that will give the ball at the 35 to Grand Forks Central. Well, I tell you what, one thing Minot's going to have to focus on and get much, much better at before the conference season starts is kicking extra points and kickoff coverage. Not only kickoff coverage, but getting the ball deep in the other team's territory.
Yeah, special teams has been a little iffy here early in the season, but you know, sometimes that's the last phase of the game to come around. You probably spend a little more time in your preseason, you know, two-a-days and stuff, getting your offense and your defense, you know, making sure that stuff's up to snuff. And sometimes special teams gets pushed to the back burner a little bit.
Well, you know, the other thing is Minot's been blessed over the last 5, 6, 7 years to have good place kickers. They had the Fuller kid, then Zach Elgie for 3 years, and then Zach Pulkinen last year. So, you know, this year they just really don't have a true place kicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, it's something that it showed early in these games, but you know, they've got plenty of time to get that figured out.
All right, here goes Grand Forks Central, one receiver each way. Play action, rolls right, looking out here. He gets it out here to Zaraka, and Zaraka will pick up decent yardage. First down territory.
Good little play action there. Zaraka comes out into the flat, little waggle pattern, and just comes off the play action into a bootleg, and he's wide open in the flat for a nice gain on first down.
Zaraka picks up 13 yards on the play and a first down. We're down to 11 and a half to play, so we've had a lot of action happen here in the first minute of this one. Yeah. Fourth quarter, too. First play from scrimmage in the quarter. Murphy takes it in from 15. Here's Parks off the right side. He's got running room. He's to the 45, 40, still on his feet, 35, 30, and finally ridden out of bounds over there by Murphy.
Defensively, you know, you're seeing both teams pretty much, they run the same, very similar schemes, and right now Minot High's kind of selling out, getting 7, 8 guys up there right at the line of scrimmage, and same thing, you know, if you get it blocked at the line of scrimmage and get these backs, you know, this Parks kid's a very good running back too. If he gets the space and gets to that second level, he's a load. He's tough to bring down, but for those defensive backs.
76 yards for him. I have him for in the second half, and now we got a flag. Came from the back, Judge.
We're going to have a little...
Or the umpire, excuse me.
Little movement inside there on Grand Forks.
Well, that'll move him back 5, back to the 36-yard line. Again, Beaver football here on KCJB tomorrow as they open up the home part of their season, playing host to the Golden Bears of Concordia St. Paul. 12:30 pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff from Herb Parker Stadium. Tailgating, by the way, starts at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Here is Parks again. He'll get back what was lost on that after the penalty. Into the ball game comes Dave Ungerer for Minot, 6'5", 325-pound senior, replaces Hilsendigger. That'll be a pickup of, well, actually, he must have went out of bounds because it's a pickup of 2. He must have stepped out over there on that side.
I think it was pickup of 7. They had the penalty.
Oh, you're right. Yep, I'm sorry.
So.
Pickup of 7. You're right. Got to keep me straight.
Yeah.
2nd and 8. Johnson under center, offset eye. Play action, rolling right, getting pressure from Bercier. Now he'll throw it, and it's incomplete. He just basically threw that one away because he was getting pressure.
Yeah, they come back with that bootleg again, and he was looking out there to the wide receiver. Can't remember who, or I can't see who that was, but he was running a deep comeback pattern and tried to push the defensive back off and come back to his quarterback. But good job by the linebacker cutting underneath that pattern and not giving Johnson any room to throw it.
Brock, if they don't gain another yard, it would be a 46-yard try for Nagel into the win. It's 3rd and 8 for Grand Forks Central. Handoff will go to Parks. He's going to pick up first down. He's to the 15. Still on his feet down to about the 10, 11-yard line. I'll tell you what, he is fun to watch run the football.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky tonight. We're seeing a pretty good show on both sides of the ball, but Grand Forks Central caught Minot High on a blitz. They blitzed both their outside linebackers, and Grand Forks caught them right up the middle. And like I said, once they get to that second level, this kid's a hard guy to handle back there.
First down and 10 to go. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. We're going to call it the 11-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to play. Here's Parks again. He's at the 5, down to about the 2 or 3. And he carried about 4 magicians with him, including Max Murphy and Mason Murphy. No relation. And they're going to mark it where? At the 3-yard line? Actually, yeah, the 3-yard line, so it's a pickup of 8 on the play. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 carries in this second half, and he's over 100 yards in the second half unofficially.
See if they try to quick snap him here and quarterback sneak again.
Here's Johnson. First and goal. Gives it off. Parks, touchdown. Parks will take it in from 3 yards out. Was that Parks?
Yeah, yep, that was
okay,
Parks.
that was
Yep,
Parks. Okay.
yep. Yeah, excellent drive by Grand Forks Central. Boy, they made that look pretty simple, and they weren't fooling anybody. They just lined up, and they Parks right up the middle and off to the left and right, and he just basically ran through the Minot High defense.
All right, it's a 3-point lead now for Grand Forks Central. Nagel will try the extra point. It is good. Score now, 9:19 to play. Fourth quarter, excuse me. 9:19 to play in the game. 37-33, Grand Forks Central back in 30. All right, thank you very much, Dan. That team that beat Fargo South pretty handedly a year ago. But South plays with Edina, Minnesota tonight. Edina, Minnesota beats Fargo South in overtime tonight, 25-22. Bismarck beat Jamestown 35-0. Kickoff by Nagel. Boy, I tell you, he's got a nice leg. This will be Coleman at the 6. He's up to the 15, he's to the 20, and he's leg tackled there. I think it was number 16. That is Ken Smith, 5'10", 155-pound junior. And we got a Knight down. That is Drew Jager. 9:11 to play. You know what, Brock? It's getting to the point where it's the team that has the ball last that's going to win this football game.
Yeah, that and maybe another turnover here or a big play here. You're right. Neither defense has really stepped up and stopped either team tonight. The 2 big turnovers early in the second half that Grand Forks got really sparked them and got them back into this football game, and they've carried over that momentum throughout the rest of this half.
Well, in the second half, I have Parks unofficially 12 carries, 116 yards.
It's like
By the way, Brock, as long as we've got a couple of seconds, I want to wish you and your wife a very happy anniversary, celebrating your anniversary today, and you were kind enough to come out and help out tonight.
Yeah, she was kind enough to let me, I guess.
Yeah, we better
put it that way.
Thank you, Tanya, from me.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, here is the first down play, the ball at the 22-yard line. 23-yard line, we're going to call it. 22-yard line. Handoff will go. This is Smart. No, is that Tingasdal? Yeah. Tingasdal will go over to the left side, and he'll get it out to the 37, we'll call it the 38-yard line. So it's a pickup of 15 on the play.
Good job of using Smart as a decoy again there and running him in motion, faking it to him. And Tengenstall, I don't know, it might have been his first carry of the second half.
Second carry. He had a 7-yard one earlier in the half.
Okay.
Ball resting at the 38. And now Minot High is going to call timeout. 8:42 to play. 37-33. Grand Forks Central back in 30. one timeout left.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they took one on defense earlier in this in the third quarter.
37-33, Magicians right back here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium next Friday night again against the other Grand Forks school, the Red River Rough Riders. Again, that's an 8 o'clock start. We'll hit the air with a pregame show at 7:40. Grand Forks Central at home against Mandan. Central leads it here. Minot will be 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. In motion comes Smart. Here's the handoff. Tingasdal again. 40, 45, midfield. He may go to the house. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jonas Tingasdal. He will go 12. He will go 62 yards for the go-ahead touchdown, and he was never touched. Give credit to that left side of the offensive line.
Yeah, great job. You know, they came back with the exact same play they opened the drive with, running Smart in motion, faking it to him, and said, you know, the defense just gets put in such a tough spot. You know, pick your poison. Do you overplay the sweep to Smart, or do you try to stay inside waiting for that dive? Either one of them, you know, just prove they can both take it to the house at any time.
Minot will go for 2. If they would get this, that would make Grand Forks Central have to score a touchdown, because it would be a 4-point advantage. They will pitch it, or what did they do? And all that, they gave it to Smart, and Smart won't get in. So now a field goal would give Central back the lead. So Minot High takes back the lead. They've put 39 on the board, but they've given up 37. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if you're Barry Holman and Bill Lorenz, I think you want the ball last in this game.
Yeah, you know, neither defense has shown anything as far as being able to stop the other team once the third quarter started. So, you know, like I said, we'll see what happens. I don't think Grand Forks Central has to be in any hurry. You know, there's 8.5 minutes left. They can still run the football. I'm sure that's their plan. They've been a little bit more diversified. They've, you know, tried to throw a ball a little bit more, but keep Minot High off balance a little bit.
All right. Again, final scores we have in other AAA football. Edina, Minnesota over Fargo South 25-22 in overtime. Bismarck High beat Jamestown 35-0. Williston at the half led Sidney, Montana 22-6. Other games had Century at West Fargo, Dickinson at Custer County, Montana. That's in Miles City. Mandan at Grand Forks Red River, and Minnetonka, Minnesota at Fargo North. Game that was heard on our sister station, 1390 KRRZ earlier today. DLB gets their first win of the year, 20-0 over Garrison Max. Here's Steinwan's kick. Pretty good kick. This will be taken by, is that Schmidt? He's up to the 20, and great coverage there by the Magicians. Maybe that will fire them up defensively a little bit. Got to go to the history books on that, Brock. The last time West Fargo started the year 0-2. Bismarck Century beats West Fargo tonight 21-13. Jay Gibson's ball club 0-2 on the year.
Yeah, big win for Century.
You betcha. All right, here is 1st and 10 from the 25. Handoff to Parks, and he's upset. And coming up with that tackle right there was Micah Holman again. So Micah Holman getting some extensive work in that defensive backfield tonight. If that last name's familiar to you, it is the son of head coach Barry Holman. Actually, looks like he might be playing a linebacker. That's exactly what he's playing. He's listed as a D-back, but playing linebacker. Here's the handoff. Goes to Parks again. He'll get it up. So he'll pick up more yardage on there, up to, let's see, the 33-yard line. They started at the 25, so they are 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
Boy, Minot would love to get a stop right here.
Yeah, the big third down play, you know, 7 minutes left. Obviously, this isn't the ball game, but, you know, Minot High needs to get their defense off the field. I think
they've been on the field a lot this second half.
And I think you're starting to see them getting wore down a little bit with the missed tackles and taking 2 and 3 people to tackle Parks.
Parks will get it up to the 40. That'll move the sticks. That's another pickup of 7 yards on the play. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 carries in this second half for Grant Parks.
Yeah, he doesn't. And
24 for the game.
He seems to be getting stronger as he's going here. He doesn't show any signs of wearing down, but he's really putting a pounding on this Minot High linebackers and defensive backs.
All right, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Clock down to 6:50 and counting. Here's Johnson. He play action. He'll throw it out here in the flat. It's incomplete. Boy, he had, who was that? That was all over him. Bercier?
Yeah. Yep,
Bercier was in Johnson's face early and made him throw the ball early.
Yeah, a little blitz, outside linebacker blitz there coming off the corner, and they bootlegged right into that. Good thing he was actually fairly fortunate that he was able to get that ball off.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 40. Again, Twins lost 5-2. Did we ever get a final on the Tigers? 4-3 final. Tigers win 4-3. Twins are back 6 games now. Uphill battle for the Minnesota Twins now. Here is play. This is a handoff to Parks straight ahead. Boy, hanging on for dear life there was Aaron Bentrup. Now they say there was a fumble, but no, they say he was down.
Yep.
Picks up to the 43. Was that Parks again? Yep.
Yep.
Boy, he's got to be getting tired too.
Yeah,
now he comes up holding his back right there. 6:15, clock counting. Minot leads it 39-7. Boy, if you're Grand Forks Central right here, you almost have to be in 2-down territory or 4-down territory where you're at, even if you're not in Minot territory, because they may not get the ball back again. Here is play action. He wants to throw. He's going deep. He's got a receiver. Incomplete. Oh no, they're going to call pass interference on Isaiah Steinwan. So they're going to call pass interference on Isaiah Steinwan. It happened on the far side. Boy, it didn't look, well, we're a long ways away, but there did not look like there was a lot of contact over there.
We're a long ways away, but I've always had good eyes, and that one was a little bit questionable. It looked like he got there right as the ball did, but you know, basically all they did, all Grand Forks did is a little play action. They sent Schmidt straight on the fly and chucked it up to him, and Steinwan got there. The official says he gets there just a little bit early, and you know, it's going to be a big 15-yard penalty to keep that drive alive.
Yeah, and that, by the way, in high school ball, that goes from the line of scrimmage, not from the flag or where it was thrown. So that takes the ball up to the Minot 42-yard line. 5:53 to play. We're in the 4th quarter. It's been a battle. It's been a fun one. Here's Johnson. Hand off. That's Parks, I think, who's back in there.
Yep.
And he'll get across the 40 to the 39, a pickup of 3.
Yeah, this is just a battle right now up front with between this defensive line and Grand Forks Central's offensive line, and Parks just hammering away, and you know, said he's breaking tackles and getting extra yards. It's been really fun to watch for this entire game.
All right, so under center goes Johnson. 2nd and 7 from the Minot High 38-yard line. Fumble picked up by Parks, but Minot will smother it right there. They'll lose it back to about the 41-yard line, maybe the 4. Well, it looks like it's going to be the 41, so they're going to lose 2 of the 3 they got on first down, and it's going to be 3rd and about 9.
Yeah, that's a killer on, you know, 2nd down. You're 2nd and 7. Moving the ball pretty well, and then to have just a simple, you know, a mistake on the exchange from center to quarterback, it can really detour a drive.
4:45, clock running, 4th quarter. 39-37, Minot High. Here is Johnson. He'll give it to Parks. Parks will break a couple of tackles, but again, Holman there along with Bentrup and to get him after, let's see, a 41 down to the 36, so he's going to be about 4 yards short. So he picks up 5 on the play. 4th and 4. This could be the football game for Grand Forks Central right here. Everybody on their feet. Again, we had just a super crowd on hand tonight. Minot High fans on their feet. 4th and 4 from the Minot High 36, and now we've got a whistle, a timeout, Grand Forks Central. 3:58 to play in regulation. 39-37, Minot High back in 30 seconds. Broadcast of this game brought to you in part by Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, your player of the game sponsor. Magic City Garage Door. Call them today at 852-1973. The Glass Doctors on South Broadway in Minot, where we fix your pains, and American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. Call them today at 852-1078. 4th and 4 for Grand Forks Central at the Minot 36. Here's Johnson. He'll roll right. He wants to throw. He gets it out there. This is incomplete. Boy, he had his receiver, Jager, there, but threw it underneath, and Jager couldn't get back to get it.
Yeah, they've ran that play quite a few times this evening. You know, just your basic bootleg play, and Jager runs down about 8-12 yards and to the out, and Johnson just, he had time to throw, and he had him open. He just kind of underthrew it.
All right, Grand Forks Central, I think, has one timeout left?
I think so.
I think they called one in the third quarter. But anyway, they have one or two. Minot High has one. They don't want to stop the clock. They just want to pick up some first downs right now.
Yeah, you're going to look for Grand Forks Central here to probably try to sell out on defense and try to get some penetration. It worked early in the second half to get a couple turnovers.
In motion comes Smart. Here's the handoff, Tangasdal. Tangasdal will get up to about the 38, a gain of 2. But more importantly for the Magi, the clock continues to run. Well, that almost looked like more than a 4-yard gain there. 2nd and 6, we'll call it. Ball resting just on the Minot High side of the 40-yard line. Tangasdal will come out now. Mellum and back come in, so that will move Smart back to the fullback. Bercier is in there as the fullback. Here is the handoff. This is Smart coming outside. He's 45, midfield. Oh, and Tyler Haug made a great play right there to save a touchdown.
And Minot High come out there. They haven't run it very much tonight, only a couple times, but they run the old counter tray with Redskins used to use, pulling the guard and tackle.
Counter tray.
From the left side over to the right side. And Smart actually didn't really even wait for that to set up. He just saw the opening to the end, and he scooted out there ahead of his blockers and almost broke that one for a touchdown.
We're under 3 minutes to play. 1st and 10 now in Grand Forks Central territory. Minot leads it by 2. Here's Murphy. In motion comes Hoffman. They'll hand the ball. This is Smart again. He's inside the 35 or the 45 to about the 42, maybe 41. We'll call it a gain of 4 and make it 2nd and 6. Boy, this is exactly what Barry Holman wanted. And boy, Bill Lorenz, if he's got that timeout left, has to start thinking about taking it.
Yeah, I think you probably wait. If you can get a stop here, make it a 3rd down. Probably call your timeout after this one, and just basically try to sell out on 3rd down and get a stop.
Back in motion. Back, won't get the football. Now Murphy will keep it right up the middle, and he'll get maybe a yard. I think that was a broken play right there.
Oh, that was that was where they faked the.
Oh, and then he just turns up and goes.
Yeah, they fake the give to the motion, fake it to the up back, and he tries to sneak out the back door, but good job by Grand Forks of recognizing it and making a good play.
All right, we'll give him a yard. Clock stopped with 2:03 to play as Grand Forks Central, I think, spends their final timeout. 2:03 to play. Minot 39, Central 37, back in 30. Well, a big third down play here for Minot High. Third, and we're going to get 5 from just outside the Grand Forks Central 40-yard line. 2:03 to play. Smart is at tail. Here is straight handoff. This is Dante. Oh, and he can't get there. What a nice play there. Number 32, that's David Nelson.
David Nelson on the tackle.
And he saved the first down and possibly saved the game right there, or any chance for Grand Forks Central. It's a pickup of 3 on the play. It's 4th and 1.
Yeah, he doesn't make that tackle, and yeah, he definitely picks up the first down, which would be more than enough to salt this game away, I think. But here it comes down right now, 4th and about a yard and a half, and we'll see if Minot High can pound it out.
We call our final timeout. Back came out to the wrong side, and you could hear the assistant coaches down to the left of us saying, call the timeout. We're all screwed up. And they do. 1:22 to play. 39-37 Minot, back in 30. Brock, you really don't want to stop the clock in a situation like that, but as you said, you gotta, if you're mixed up and really kind of confused, call the timeout so they can get everything, situated in the right, get the people in the right places.
Yeah, this is the ball game. I mean, you're 4th and a yard and a half, and you get this first down, you may not have to really snap the ball or run another play. You might just be able to kneel down. So, yeah, you're better off taking the timeout, stopping the clock, and making sure you got the right play called and the right people out there.
All right, here's 4th and a little over a yard. Minot will take it, fumble! And Murphy's going to break it for a touchdown! That actually was put on the ground, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think...
Boy, it looked like he dropped the ball and then just picked it up and took it.
No, he went right... As soon as the ball was snapped, just took a couple steps to his left and looked like they were just going to try to quarterback sneak it. Well, it ended up being a big pile up there, and he kind of just slid and slid and slid back to his right, and all of a sudden it just opened up like the Red Sea, and off to the races he went.
That'll go for how many yards?
About
36?
37.
37 yards. That's Murphy's second touchdown of the night. And that really kind of seals the deal now. They'll go for 2. Murphy's going to throw. He's got a receiver out here. It's Hoffman, and it's tipped away. Incomplete, but Minot leads by 8. So Grand Forks Central needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in the final 1:14 to have any chance of extending this game. 45-37 Minot, 1:14 to play. We'll be back in 30. .90 or 82 points have been scored in this football game between these two teams. And I just want to send notice out to the East Region teams. We won't see them for a couple of more weeks, but this Grand Forks Central team is legit.
Absolutely. They've definitely hung in there with Minot High all night, and except for a play here or there that could be a completely different score.
Here's the kick. It's a squib kick. It'll be picked up by Nelson at the 25. He's to the 30 and down there at the 30-yard line, 31-yard line. 1:08 to play. Now, I don't think Grand Forks Central has a timeout left. You will probably see Johnson putting the ball in the air at every chance here. See what they want to do. Minot looks like they may have an extra couple of D-backs in there. Coleman, yeah. Hoffman, back, Steinwan. Here is Johnson. He wants to throw over the middle. He's got his receiver, Jager. That'll pick up yardage 31 to the 47. That's a 16-yard pickup.
Back and Rindy on the tackle. Clock is down, under a minute to play. There's that one is just
That'll go as an incomplete pass. He just kind of downed that one. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from their own 47-yard line. 57 seconds to play. Minot looking to go 2-0 as they await the arrival of Grand Forks Red River next week.
Plenty of time here, you know. Grand Forks River did a good job of making a completion, getting right to the line and downing it to save as much time as they could.
Here is across the middle. They get it to Schmidt. Nope, he drops it over there. It'll be 3rd down and 10. 52 seconds to play. Now Minot with some extra D-backs in there. There's Holman in there. Actually playing a linebacker, but they got Hoffman in there.
Yeah, you look, they're just rushing 3 right now. Linebackers are playing very soft. Got 2 safeties over the top, protecting from anything deep.
Here is a rolling right, it's Johnson. He throws middle, gets his receiver, but it's short of the 1st down, so 4th down play coming, and Grand Forks Central has no timeouts. Clock continues to run. Grindy was on the play there.
Yeah, good job. He didn't let him get out of bounds. Now this makes this 4th down and a couple with the clock still running.
Here is Johnson. They're going to hand it off. They're going to get the 1st down, so they will stop the clock to move the chains.
Yep, Grand Forks will get
Who
up.
Who ran that?
That was Parks.
Okay, that was Parks.
Get up, they'll get set here while they're setting the chains. Get set, down the football.
20 seconds. Yeah, he just downs it. So Parks picks up that 1st down. Schmidt.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
So it's up to the 39. Be 2nd down. So here is the 2nd down play, 18 seconds to play. Johnson will throw. Johnson looking deep. Johnson puts it up. John complete. Oh no, they're not going to throw another flag. Steinwan's going to get called again, either him or Coleman. I thought that was pretty darn good coverage. And that almost is an uncatchable ball out there.
I don't think that rule applies in high school football. And basically what he did that time was he cut his route off. He kind of cut him off and wouldn't allow him to get into his pattern. And you know, that one I didn't have such a problem with. The one earlier was a little questionable, but I could definitely see where he might have been able to call that one.
So 1st and 10 now at the 60 or 26-yard line. 10 seconds to play. They'll roll left. He's looking out here through the middle. Incomplete. Clock stopped with 6 seconds.
They're very lucky that ball fell incomplete because that was only a throw down to about the 15-yard line. Wouldn't have been enough for, even if it would have been enough for a 1st down, they'd have had a hard time getting up there with 6 seconds and getting the clock stopped. I think this one probably might be.
They have to take this one to the end zone.
Absolutely, definitely going to have to throw this one into the end zone, and if you're, you know, probably very possibly could be the last play of the game.
All right, so here is Johnson. 2nd and 10. That's immaterial. Johnson will throw. Johnson in trouble, throws it end zone. Brennan High's going to win this thing. Coleman over there on the coverage along with Steinwan. And I'll tell you what, it's tough to see either one of these teams get beat. I applaud both of them.
Absolutely.
Just an excellent football game between 2 very good football teams.
Yeah, very entertaining, very fun game to watch. Good job on that last play. Alex Smith coming off his right defensive end, or Alex Nelson, I'm sorry.
Alex Smith plays quarterback for the 49ers.
Coming off his right defensive end and just beats the tackle off the snap of the ball and gets to Johnson before he can really step into that throw. And, you know, the ball just kind of fluttered, giving Minot High's defensive backs a chance to get over there and knock it down.
All right, so Minot survives here. A big 2nd half for Grand Forks Central, but the Magicians get it done in the 4th quarter. Final score from Dwayne Carlson Stadium, Minot High 45, Grand Forks Central 37. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. Your post-game show is next. win a football game. Topsy-turvy. Mandan beats West Fargo last week in West Fargo 36-28. Tonight in Red River shuts out Mandan 35-0. So it's going to be one of those years, I think.
Yeah, this AAA thing, Bismarck, everybody says Bismarck, Fargo South are the cream of the crop in this division, and after that it's going to be a toss-up. But, we're seeing it early in the season, but, the other two, these teams play each other tough, and, Minot and Bismarck's always been been good football games, and Fargo South is going to have their share of tough ones too. So, we'll see how it plays out over the next, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
All right, let's take a look at the scoring in the second half. Remember, we had Smart with 3 touchdowns, Tingasdal with 1 in the first half. Minot led 27-10, but boy, I tell you, the fortunes changed for the Magicians early in the second half. Very first possession, they fumble the ball, and Taylor Lahas takes it in from 18 yards out on a fumble recovery. 2-point conversion, no good. The lead was cut to 27-16. Then after Minot put it on the ground again on their next possession at the 8:59 mark, Grant Parks took it in from 4 yards out, his first touchdown of the night. Nagel added the PAT. We had a game at that point, 27-23. Central closed out the scoring in the third quarter. Johnson on a 3-yard run. Nagel PAT. The third quarter ended Central 30-27 in the lead. Turnovers really hurt the Magicians early in that third quarter, Brock.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, we've seen it now out of this Magician team. Play very well in the first half and establish themselves, and then, come out of the locker room kind of sluggish. And last week it was penalties and some lackadaisical play, and this week it ends up being turnovers. That's something the coaching staff's definitely going to work on and try to get fixed.
That's all right. All right, then we went into the fourth quarter, and Minot got the lead back. Max Murphy, who I thought had a very nice game on both ends, on the defensive end and the offensive end. He came in. He took it in from 15 yards out on a fourth down play at the 11:52 mark of the fourth quarter. Again, Minot struggling with the point after touchdown. It was no good. It was Minot High 33-30. Central right back at the 9:19 mark. Parks takes it in from 3 yards out. Nagel adds the extra point, 37-33, but Minot scores the final 2. At the 8:31 mark, Tingasdal. Jonas takes it 62 yards for his second touchdown. Extra point was no good, 39-37. And then Murphy finished it off, his second touchdown of the ball game at the 1:14 mark, 37 yards out, 2-point conversion, no good. That's where we ended, 45-37. So Minot led 27-10 at the half. They were outscored 27-18 in the second half. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the night, Brock, if we'd score 82 points tonight, I probably would have said no. But I'll tell you what, this was a very entertaining game. We saw 3 pretty good running backs, 2 for the Magi, and this Parks kid is going to be nightmares for the East down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of talent on the field tonight at that position. But, 82 points is, that's just a regular AAA football game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Both defenses struggled. Like I said, turnovers really hurt Minot High in the second half, but got to give Grand Forks Red River credit. They came out and they made a few adjustments, became a lot more aggressive early in that third quarter, and got some penetration and forced those turnovers. And they could have easily laid down and rolled over early in that third quarter, but they made a few plays, got back in the game, and they just couldn't quite keep that momentum sustained through the fourth quarter. And Minot High's big fellers up front kind of wore them out, I think, and they put together 2 drives late that they needed to get, and had 2 good runs. Tingasdal's long run, and then Murphy on a 4th and short, put the game away.
All right, so Minot High wins it 45-38 or 37. We'll take another 2-minute timeout here. When we come back, we'll look at some individual stats and name our player of the game. We'll all do all that in 2 minutes.
Go,
back here to Dwayne Carlson Stadium, Minot High with a big win tonight as they move to 2-0 as they wait for the arrival of what must be a pretty good Grand Forks Red River team next week. That ball club beat Mandan here tonight in Grand Forks, 35-0. Numbers, here's what we got unofficially. Thanks to Chris Berry for the first half stats. I knew that he would have to go down and do some interviews, that sort of thing. So I tried to keep a little bit of a running total. Hopefully these are slightly close to the real thing. For Grand Forks Central, 29 carries tonight. For Grant Parks, 19 of those came in the second half, 185 yards and a couple of touchdowns. I had him 19 for 140 yards in that or 45 yards in that second half, or 140 yards, I'm sorry. 19 carries for 140 yards for the game, 29 for 185. Only 3 others carried the ball in the ball game for Minot, or for Central. Zaraka had 1 carry, 6 yards. Johnson and Prasnicki 1 carry for 3 yards each. Passing wise, Johnson, I had him 6 of 18 for 74 yards and 1 touchdown. Schmidt catching 3 balls for 50 yards. Jager 1 for 16. Zaraka 1 for 13. Parks 1 for -5. So for Grand Forks Central, I had 197 yards rushing, 74 yards passing, 221 total yards for the Knights. For Minot High, we had 2 that were over the 100 mark, 1 that was over the 200 mark. Dante Smart, 24 carries unofficially for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tangasdal, 7 carries for 104 yards, including a 62-yard touchdown run. He also had 2 touchdowns. Max Murphy from the quarterback position, 4 carries, 60 yards, 2 TDs. Jace Olander, 3 carries, 37 yards. Isaiah Steinwan, 3 carries, 5 yards. Darren Back, 1 carry, 3 yards. Hoffman, 1 carry for -2 yards. Steinwan was 1 of 2 for 14 yards passing. Murphy 1 of 4 for 24. Hoffman catching 1 for 14. Back catching 1 for 24. So Minot 311 yards on the ground, 38 in the air for a total of 349. So again, hopefully I'm pretty close on those numbers, but boy, I tell you what, Smart and Tangasdal go for 308 yards, and then you add Murphy's 60. That's 68 yards. You know what? I had that wrong. That's 308. Yeah, that should be 411 yards I have him rushing. 204 from Tangasdal, 204 from Smart, 104 from Tangasdal, 60 for Murphy. So out of those 3, they ran for 368 yards and 7 touchdowns tonight, Brock.
Yeah, the Smart and Tangasdal is just it's a 2-headed monster, and you pick your poison, especially when they put them both in the game at the same time. You got to respect Smart's speed, and they like to run him on that motion and fake that sweep to him, and boy, that just opens up a lot of big holes for Tangasdal up in the middle of the defense, and he's definitely taken advantage of them. It's 2 weeks in a row now. I think he's had a 60-yard run. I think last week he didn't score on that one, but this one he ends up scoring on tonight. And just their big playability when they get out into space, they don't get caught either. So they're obviously their running game is going to be the strength of this team. We've seen good play by Murphy tonight with his legs, but going forward, I still think we're just going to have to see more consistency and a little bit more production out of the passing game. They haven't really had to lean on it early in the season, but there's going to be a time they're going to run into some of these teams down the road where they're going to end up having to throw the football and at least have the threat of being able to be successful doing it.
And Barry knows that too. He's talked about that, and I know that's something that he wants to incorporate, but and it'll come. Hopefully it'll come, and hopefully on it, now both these kids, Steinwan and Murphy, have gotten 2 games under their belt. I think they feel a lot more comfortable, probably don't have as many jitters as they've had the first 2 games. I really do think that passing guy, and I agree with you, Brock, they need to find some kind of air attack because people are going to just put 9 in the box and say, hey, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us by throwing the football.
Yeah, and, you've seen both teams, Grand Forks Central this week and Jamestown last week, at times in the second half were able to slow down their running game, and, they weren't able to stop it, but they were able to slow it down. And Jamestown last week couldn't quite get back into the game. Grand Forks Central this week absolutely took control in the second half, and once they were able to stop that running game and get a couple quick scores of their own, confidence grew, and boy, they made it a battle right to the end.
All right, time to make our pick our Perkins player of the game, and I guess, Brock, you could pick several guys. You could go with your offensive line again. You could give it to Jace Olander. Blocked well for those two backs tonight. Look at the numbers. 204 for Smart, Tangasdal with 104, 3 touchdowns for Smart, 2 for Tangasdal. But you know what? The guy I think that really kind of sparked them and got the winning touchdown, and I think really kind of sparked them in the fourth quarter, because they were very stagnant in that third quarter offensively. Even though they fumbled a couple of times, the 2 possessions they had that they kept the ball, they really didn't do anything. They brought Murphy back in. He gets the touchdown and then gets the go-ahead touchdown, actually became the winning touchdown. Max, I think, came into his own a little bit. Nothing against taking away from Isaiah, but Max Murphy came in and just really kind of took control of this football game in that fourth quarter once Central made their comeback.
The thing about Max, granted he didn't throw the ball with great success and didn't throw it a lot, but
didn't have to.
No, but the plays he makes, he just uses his speed and his athleticism. The first touchdown he scores, basically just a sprint out off the bootleg, and he turned the corner, and once he got the corner, he was good enough athlete to turn it up, make one kid miss, and boom, he's in the end zone. That got him going there. And then on the 4th down and 1 play that sealed the game, basically it's just a quarterback follow play. He wants to try to get up in there behind Olander, and he's just very patient, lets the flow take itself away, and all of a sudden he pops out on the back side of it, and there was over pursuit by Grand Forks Central, and once he gets in the open field, he's fast enough where he's gone, and that one salted it away. So, I think he's very deserving of it, and he made a couple of real big plays for Minot High in the second half.
And he also plays defense for him, too. A lot of people don't understand that he plays from start to finish at linebacker. So congratulations goes out to the junior signal caller and linebacker Max Murphy, our Perkins Restaurant and Bakery player of the game. So that wraps it up here for this week. Minot 2-0 at home. They'll try to go 3-0 next week as they play host to Red River here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. 8 o'clock start. We'll hit the air with pregame show at 7:40. Want to thank our sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Subway, U.S. Bank, Michael's Italian American Restaurant, Buffalo Wings and Rings, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Super Pumper, the Royal Fork Buffet, Night Train Pizza, the Glass Doctors, Perkins Restaurant and Bakery, Magic City Garage Door, and American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep of Minot. Remember our inaugural sports show, Coach's Corner, tomorrow morning from Buffalo Wings and Rings, 10:30. We'll run from 10:30 to 11:30, live from Buffalo Wings and Rings, and also sponsored in part by American Family Insurance Agents Mike Lucy and Randy Shep. We thank them for making it possible. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to start, real easy and, kind of get ourselves into the flow of things, and we'll add more features in the future, but we'll have some coaches live. We'll have some coaches on tape tomorrow morning, 10:30 to 11:30 at Buffalo Wings and Rings. It's Coach's Corner. And then Brock and I will be at Minot State at Herb Parker Stadium tomorrow afternoon. Minot State opens up their 2009 season as they play host to the Golden Bears of Concordia St. Paul. That is a 12:30 pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff. So that does it. Great job. Back at the studio, our executive producer, Dan Springer. For Dan Springer, for Brock Harstead, I'm Scott Cattell. Final score again from Dwayne Carlson Stadium tonight. Minot High 45, Grand Forks Central 37. Until tomorrow afternoon from Herb Parker Stadium, Scott Cattell saying good night, everyone.